forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
And hello guys, we are back. It's Aegis Champions League. You know it, ACL. We are back. Semi-finals. Super excited. I'm Hirsch. Wait a minute. No, I'm the Giga Snail. Now, the box cannot contain all of my Giga, so I'll be just the Snail today. And with me, right here, the most beautiful man I've seen today, Schwartz. Schwartz, how are you doing?
Excellent, even better now. Gotta, glad to be the most beautiful man you've seen today. It's a high honor.
I haven't left the house much today, so I have seen the neighbors, though. I have seen the neighbors. So yeah, Schwartz. So we are up at the semifinals. You know, we are getting to the stages where it's tough. It's tough for everybody. Now, tell me, have you seen the last week's action of Aegis that we had?
I know that we saw some incredible plays from our world champion Talpinager, taking it down to move them on into the semifinals.
Indeed, that man was glorious last week. You know, I had three dreams about him this week. You know, it was absolutely glorious. They were all in Italian, so I didn't understand much of the dreams, but insane. So yeah, so Shorts, little about you, what you've been playing LoR this couple of weeks. I believe we had you 2 weeks ago on the stream, right? You had to step in for Dragon. So
I had to make the smash switch. Internet betrayed Dragon, and unfortunately, it seems that those woes have continued. So I'm happy to fill in when able. You know, I love a good combo deck. You know, anything. Let me slam Lee Sin into just about anything, and I'm happy to play it.
Cringe.
Yeah.
It also wins something. I don't know. So, yeah, Shorts. Me personally, I played some Dawn speakers. You know, I got my my boy to hook me up with some combo decks. You know, they were good, but it's not the same. You know, it's not the same.
Going back to the beginning, you know, little Dawn Speaker Spiders. You know, if we could bring back the beta. Dredging up.
Everybody loves the how much legs is that? 8-legged at least, right? Who doesn't love that much legs, honestly, right? Schwartz, enough rumbling about us two. I don't think anybody came here to watch me and you. We came here to watch the glorious semifinals. Now, last week, as we mentioned, Talpinator, great plays, you know, pulled off an insane comeback. We went all the way to Silver Scrapes. But this time, we are looking at the other side of the bracket. So we're going to be looking at Maokai Saplings, which got first in the second group, and Lee Sin's Dragons that pulled an insane upset last week. So looking at the players, Schwartz, do you think they might pull an upset this week too, or is Maokai Sapling just too stacked?
I think that there's always the possibility. You know, you've got White Rebellion and Void, who are great players, and Goofy, who has pulled together an excellent team, of course. You know, the master strategist, Goofy, pulling the strings from behind the curtain. Looking at Maokai Saplings, you know, Sam's Hands, Jinden, Robomaster, all very strong players. You know, only thing that's missing is Robomaster's key deck, the PNZ. Missing our Transmogrify deck. I am totally having a stroke right now. I can't remember the name of the card. It's been gone for so long.
But
Timelines.
They didn't bring that. Timelines, right? Robomaster was the Timelines guy back in the days. Yeah, the Timelines master. Now he did brought some. No, I believe there is no PNZ. I believe he's just doing some other shenanigans here and there. But I really like what Maokai Saplings brought this week. Spicy. But I heard from some inside news that they might not be the happiest with the matchups. So I believe we're gonna be looking at them real quick, but yeah, let's just go into the decks, Hirsch. Schwartz, I think this is enough about us.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think anybody is sick of seeing you, but this is the most I've been on camera ever in my life. So we're just gonna roll with it. All right, into the decks. So on Maokai Saplings, you know, we did transition from groups into playoffs, and we got a different format. King of the Hill, right? Every team sends one player, then they play until they lose. First team to get all of their players on one loss are out, and you know, sometimes strategies come up. You know, some players like to put their best player on the best lineup first. Some like to leave him at the end, as we saw last week. We saw Talpinator, you know, take a back seat, wait for his time to shine. Shine he did, you know, like a bright star. I don't know what's bigger star than the sun, but probably called Talpinator. But this time, on Maokai Sapiens, I don't even know who's the best player. So they decided to go for Robomaster as their first pick. Now, you did say Timeline's great player. Now let's see if he can do it with other decks too, you know. And on the other side, on Listen's Dragons, we got White Rebellion. So the matchup, stacked. I mean, I'm pretty sure if we chose any player from the teams, it would be stacked, but it's definitely super stacked. Now,
Oh, I mean, I think any team that we look at this point is just going to be, I mean, to have made it this far and to beat the teams that they did, you know, you've got a group of very strong players left, and I think we're going to have some excellent games today, regardless of, you know, how the tide shifts. I think it'll be very interesting to see how things shake out.
let's move into the good stuff. All right. On White Rebellion side, for the first deck, we got Victor Leasing. Now, Schwartz, you said combo connoisseur. Take us through this deck. How is this comboing us to that?
So if we're looking at this, really one of our key engines here is Ballistic Bot. Victor wants us to cast created spells, and Leeson wants us to cast spells. Ballistic Bot creates a spell every turn, gives us something to do with our mana, and can create a threat that has to be answered all on its own. If our opponent leaves the board open, that bot can swing for 10. Eye of the Dragon is kind of our anti-aggro tech and also feeds into the same thing. We want to cast spells, and it gives us free blockers, gives us a little bit of health, helps us survive and sustain. And looking through the deck list, you know, we've got a lot of the old staples, Concussive Palm, and Deep Med, Unworthy Soul. Interesting to be on 2 Rocket Barrages can be a little bit clunky, but I guess it depends on, you know, what matchups you're looking to see. But I think it looks like a solid list.
Well said, Schwartz. I think I kind of agree. You know, the Ballistic Bot, the Eye of the Dragon, two probably of the most annoying 2-drops you can find in this combination, maybe even in the whole game. And they definitely, when they stick, value galore. They just rolling the whole game with those. Yeah, I think I've seen it a lot in the meta right now, especially in the competitive meta. You know, we saw it a lot last week in the Aegis. We saw it in the different tournaments we have. So yeah, pretty standard list. As you said, some rocket barrages here and there, teched for whatever they hope to face. And overall, pretty strong deck. Let's move up to the next one. We got some Bandle Freljord shenanigans, and it's Fizz Yumi. Now, I think this is also a combo short, so I think it's up to you again to say what we're looking at here.
I think it's just combo in a different shade. You know, we're looking at more of kind of a Voltron strategy here, trying to stack a big elusive unit with Yumi or Bone Club to make it difficult to remove. And I mean, Fizz with a Bone Club is just almost impossible to take off the board unless you have burst spells or a challenger. Because anything you target, any spell you target them with is going to get fizzled. And of course, we've got another annoying 2-drop. Skip King of the Reef to steal our opponent's cards and slow their game plan down so that we can find our other big elusive units and build up and smack face.
Smack face, my favorite thing to do in the game, not gonna lie. Now, yeah, you were right. We see some skips. We also have Yadulski Snow Dogs. I feel like White Rebellion is really going all in on those pesky little 2-drops, you know? As I believe our beautiful producer Hirsch would say, that Skip is the best card, that he loves it the most. Like, it's his favorite card in the whole game, I believe. So he will definitely be watching this game closely too. And yeah, protection for Fizz, galore. As you said, you need, I don't even know at this point, like, even you said some challengers, but then there's freezes, there's buffs. You said burst spells, yeah, I guess that's like basically the only thing, so it's definitely going to be a trouble to beat it. Yeah, Ahash. What else? Name one more spell, Schwartz. You're on the thing. Name another spell that beats it.
I failed.
It's crying sense, Schwartz. It's crying sense. Alright, on to the third deck. Tryndamere Volibear, and we got the Ramp. Now, Schwartz, is this combo? Or is Ramp combo? Or first of all, Schwartz, is Ramp even combo?
I feel like people continue to argue like whether ramp is control or ramp is combo. I think ramp is ramp. It's just I'm going to play bigger spells than you, and you'd better kill me before I get done with it. I do like the inclusion of Mina Swiftfoot in the deck. Putting a body down and taking 3 of your opponent's threats off of the board all at once seems good.
Now, yeah, we have Mina Swiftfoot. We don't usually see this card at all. I'm kind of excited to see it. Like, recalling 3 units is basically a ruination, but on a stick. And the stick has fast feet, even Swiftfoot, if you want to say. And Singular Will, and Heart of the Treasury. I just love this card. Also, shout out to Smooth Soul West. When I think of Mina Swiftfoot, I also think of him. But then again, basically every second card I know in Legends of Runeterra, I just think of Smooth. So maybe it's not the best analogy there. But I digress. Okay, so what we see, Schwartz, 3. I'm just gonna say 3 combo decks, and we're just gonna roll with it. So we see 3 combo decks. How do you like this lineup overall?
I think it's solid. I think that they came in with a clear idea, and I think very much like in this format, leading off with 3 decks with similar tables, or at least like in your estimation, similar enough tables that give you feel like you have a fighting chance into most things, and whether it's aggro or control, it just takes just one misstep from the opponent, and you can combo off on them and end the game.
Yeah, I think this list is definitely gonna be doing some comboing today, but now honestly, this looks very stock standard to me. I mean, it's crazy to say that when we have Mina Swiftfoot in there, but Ramp has been ramping for a while now. Fizz has been definitely fizzing for so long now, and Lee Sin has been listening, dragoning. So it's definitely something we have seen. Now that doesn't mean it's bad, but let's see if on the other side, Robomaster is prepared for what the White Rebellion is bringing. Yeah, let's move on. Let's go to Robomaster's decks now. Now, Fizz still there. There is no way anybody's gonna play this game without Fizz. Fizz is always fizzing. Now, Robomaster decided to go in Targon instead of Freljord. Now, this is also combo deck, Schwartz. Now, I don't think you should have mentioned that you're a combo enjoyer, I feel like every deck today is gonna be combo. So, I'm gonna put you on the spot again. How do you feel? Which of the 2 versions is better, Do you feel like you want to go in Freljord, or do you feel like this Aphelios with all the phase is just more versatile and stronger? Which do you prefer is the real question.
I think it depends on the matchup spread that you're looking for. I do like the flexibility. Aphelios has always been a good unit. Gives you control of the board, and gives you a lot of agency in the matchup, assuming you find him. I think that the Fizz Yumi deck makes Fizz a little bit harder to remove, gets much bulkier, and it's just more of a hard stat check deck. In this matchup in particular, the inclusion of Targonian Tellstones I think makes I would say maybe tilts it a little bit in Robomaster's favor. But you have to find the cards at the right time, and also have a way to utilize it to make sure if that Bone Club is on Fizz, those stats aren't going anywhere. So you still have to be able to kill the Fizz.
Yeah. You know what a card I really wanted to see in this list, Schwartz?
Stress testing.
Is stress testing given in these regions? I thought it's in PNZ.
Sorry, not stress testing. Makes your unit a 1/6.
Stress defense.
No, it's stress defense, but I like the idea. But no, what I wanted to see is looping telescope here, just because of all the E stuff,
Yeah.
Like imagine all the random stuff could get in here, and it's also both of the regions.
It could be anything.
It could be literally anything. Well, not actually anything. There was like
anything within a set specific parameter.
I like it. We're gonna move on to the next deck. I see some ramp. It is gonna be ramp. When I see Freljord, I already know it's gonna be ramp, but what kind of ramp? we got Trundle, Morgana, Ramp. Now it's with Demacia, so no Mina. But we see the other bigger lady there, Citria of Clouds. I believe I butchered that. It's Citria Lady of Clouds, not Lady Citria of Clouds, but doesn't matter. Now, Citria is big. Like, nobody can come here and say that Citria isn't huge. The board that she can make is just too big. I remember back in the days when we even played stuff like Matron with Citria, just to get more Citrias and faster Citrias. So I feel like this is the same. We just want to ramp, we just want to stall, then we slam down Citria and just win the game. So again, Schwartz, I'm gonna do this, I feel like, all night. I'm just gonna have you here comparing decks that are very similar but still different. We see ramp on both sides. Do you prefer Demacia with Trundle, with Citria, with Morgana? Or do you prefer what White Rebellion had with Ionia, Mina, and all the recalls? I believe they had some more recalls. Which do you prefer, Schwartz, and which do you think would fare better?
I think that this is a much greedier style of ramp. We've given up all early units, so I think what we're looking to do here is float into Catalyst or Wild Mysticism to be able to play a Swiftwing Lancer or Morgana or Trundle on turn 4. The only issue that I have with the deck is that we have a relatively lower unit count, and our removal and stall is unit based. So I could see that being an issue if another deck gets off to a hotter start. There are no freezes in the deck, but I do think in a ramp matchup, the greedier deck is typically favored. Although that Mina might just bounce Citria and then does she matter?
I mean, depends on the board, right? If she can get rid of the whole board, then the Citria buffs don't really matter. But yeah, I do agree. We do see Swiftling Lancer as well. A challenger that can also make another unit. I believe it was his last breath effect. But we don't see a card I usually see, the Masiaran, the 2-mana unit that says when you behold an 8 or more cost card, I gain 3 attack, and then it's a 3/4. What was that card's name, Schwartz? I'm blanking here. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about, but I am also on the verge of having an aneurysm trying to think.
Yeah, it's a really like. I believe it was. Right. Yeah, you're.
Mafia, and I immediately, all I could think, my brain went completely white.
Yeah. So Troll Scavenger. Yeah.
So
we got it, man. Go play Schwartz.
I think that would have made a lot of sense here. Maybe cutting, having 3 concerted strikes is a little high.
Okay, and last deck, what we didn't see so far in the lineup, Swords. Would you look at that? Mordekaiser. But this time, with an interesting partner. We're used to looking at Tristanas, some Kindreds. Hell, I haven't seen like Elises. I haven't seen like all kinds of stuff. But I haven't seen Anivia. What the hell is up with that, Schwartz? Is it like more combo-ish? I'm just going to point to combo all day. Is it more combo-ish or more control-y?
I think this is leaning more control-y with the option for combo lines. We obviously want to kill the bird a number of ways. Soul Cleave is very funny here. What's better than 1 Anivia? It's 2 Anivias. But without any ramp, it looks like we're trying to play more of a control game plan leading into our Anivia finish. You get to turn 10, it is very difficult to deal with a board full of birds. A Harrowing doesn't just bring back Anivia for a turn. She'll turn into Eggnivia, and then you've got birds again.
I feel like you said the word birds a lot, but
bird is the word.
I think you should have said it more, because we have Ruination to kill our bird, Harrowing to get our bird back. We can give it Deathless. We can Mordekaiser the bird. There's a lot of birds and eggs all day. But in this version of Mordekaiser, there is no aloof, and I feel like aloof kind of matters in this meta where there are kind of like big combo-ish stuff. We have Lee Sin at 5 mana. We have those ramp cards that are big at the end, like Citria, Mina. Even in the Fizz deck, you have those big buff cards at the top. So I feel like Aloof was definitely a big part of the deck, and I'm interested to see how this fares into the meta, because I feel like there's no way this is the same matchup that we see from Mordekaiser Aloof.
I agree. I think it is very difficult for this if the opponent were to stick that Fizz on the board with a Bone Club. I don't know how this deck is ever dealing with them.
And I think with that, we are going to go to predictions. So, Schwartz, now it's a hard thing to predict, because I feel a little bit sentimental towards the Maokai saplings. Samsens, I love Samsens. Jinden, I love Jinden. Robomaster, now I don't love Robomaster as much as the both, but I still love him. No disrespect to him, I just love the other two guys more. Now, my vote goes for them. What's your reasoning behind your vote?
I'm similarly biased. Unfortunately, I've been compromised. I've known Samsens for a long time. I think that this is a very strong group of players. I could see it honestly going either way. It's a toss-up, and I'm going to try to keep the casting even and fair.
Yeah, we're gonna totally keep it fair. Don't worry. Now, on our desk, in the behind our desk, in our ears, in our hearts, we have Hirsch. Hirsch also predicted with the Maokai saplings. Now, I do not know Hirsch's story behind it. I believe it's just absolute hatred towards dragons, from what I know. Hirsch, I think he really hates dragons. Like, there is some story when he was a kid, but let's not get into it. But the community disagrees. The community, I feel like they have been watching last week the upset that the dragons pulled, and also I believe we have some info that a player from Maokai Saplings voted for Lee Sin's dragons to win, as a prediction. So do you think that's like breaking a curse or something? I vote for that, hoping they lose, or is it just match fixing? Is this match fixing, short?
Yep. It's the fix is in, so I no longer have faith that this is going to be someone's going to be sandbagging their matches. I think money.
All right, now let's look at the bigger picture. Let's get our face off the screen and let's look at the bigger picture. We got banger lineups. We got combo against combo, and kind of control. I guess you said it's control, so I'm just gonna go with it. So we have Lee Sin, Victor, we have Yuumi Fizz, and we have Ramp Ionia. On the other side, Ramp Demacia, Fizz with Aphelios, and Mordekaiser, Not Aloof, and Anivia. Now, looking at all these three lineups, Schwartz, which player would rather you be? Now, which player would you want to be? No, not which is stronger, not which lineup is better. Where you want to be here, Schwartz?
I think I want to be Y Rebellion in this matchup. I think that the matchup for their Fizz deck is favorable into the opponent's decks. And if I'm Robomaster, I'm seeing all that Ionia, and I'm not necessarily jazzed about it.
I kind of like on the other side, honestly. I feel like on the Robomaster side, you have a little bit of Anivia there, and honestly, who has seen Anivia in the last couple of years, So I feel like that might bring a little bit of tomfoolery into the matchup, maybe pull some bans. We're gonna get to it soon. Now, you could say the same thing, I guess, for Ionia, but I feel like Ionia, we have seen it, and there's like just few cards to play around, like Mina and the big recall spell, and the Ruination for recalls. While on the other side, there's like so many ways to use Anivia. You can sack her, you can just do so much with Anivia, Just birds do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is that these decks aren't looking to kill Anivia, they're looking to put Anivia back in your hand so that you're losing the value. But we'll have to see how RoboMaster can play around that.
Yeah, it might create a little bit of a hand lock, I would say, where you go. They have ways to bounce it to your hand, but if you have ways to kill it on the stack, you're just super happy for it because they spend the whole thing. So yeah, it's gonna create a whole bunch of a mess. And honestly, Schwartz, I'm happy you're here, because now I'm gonna put you on the spot and oh no, we okay, Schwartz. What would have been your prediction for bans now that you know the bans? But be honest.
I honestly would have thought maybe banning the Fizumi deck on the side of White Rebellion.
Oh,
and
well.
I agree with RoboMaster's ban, the ban on RoboMaster's side.
Well, apparently, Schwartz, we took too long. Bans are done. We are into the games. I think we're just having so much fun being with each other here and talking that we're completely forgetting that we have a job to do here. So let's double down. Let's focus. We got opening hand from Victor Lee. We can see it. Opening hand from the ramp Demacia. Which do we prefer? Which has the wins cons? And what do we like here?
By a mile. I would much rather be White Rebellion has the ballistic bot down, can start accruing value, and on RoboMaster's side we see a clunker of a hand. We have 2 Darkened Spears with nothing to put it on. We have a single ramp spell and a Gentleman's Duel, but no units to cast it on.
Did we see a pass on turn 3? Whoa! Usually, ramp decks really want to just slam that ramp card on turn 3, but the RoboMaster feels like even if I ramp, what am I doing turn 5, right? The next turn with 5 men on turn 4. So I like the pass because that's making White Rebellion think about his play a little bit. Do I use more stuff? Do I attack? Does he have the ramp? Do I pass? I really like this mind play, and he takes it. Wow, really good at Schwartz.
It's an interesting play.
Is this punish? No, if we ramped last turn, we could have played the Lancer this turn.
Yeah, I think that the value of the pass is just not. I appreciate the mind games, but I'm not seeing what was gained by skipping a ramp turn. I suppose he got his 3 health, 4 health. So that could be, maybe it's angling just for 1 extra turn. Better to ramp this turn.
Yeah, I can see it. It definitely it would have looked better if he didn't top deck. Just a great card to play. But now it's definitely feel like he got a little bit punished. But I'm a firm believer that whatever the player makes is always the correct play, especially at this stage. Because if I knew what was better, I would have been there. That's my train of thought. But alas, we digress. We just saw 11, 12 damage pushed on turn 5 from White Rebellion side.
Okay, opting for the second ramp, so this will put us at 8. So can play out our 7 mana Titanic unit, and maybe that should allow us to RoboMaster to pull out the set 3 on the following turn. But part of the issue is that White Rebellion's getting wider here. One of the plays that
Wide Rebellion.
Wide Rebellion. One of the things I'd like to have seen here is playing out the Swiftwing Lancer to kill the Victor. But being at the power level he was, we may have lost the Swiftwing Lancer. So different lines.
Yeah, we definitely see a side of Lee Sin Victor that's not usually seen, but it's definitely there with the ballistic bots. Once you have them cooking early on, look at this. They have so much burn, and they're so big. So it's just insane value. On another side, RoboMaster just slamming a Naka. All right,
going for the Naka.
What is he pulling?
Gives another unit. I could see a play from White Rebellion here if they attack with a Naka to pump it with and trying to remove the Anaka, and that could go disastrously depending on how much
I'll cut you off there, Schwartz. I am a believer. I am a believer. There's 3 Darking Spear. We go Anaka into Anaka. We missed. I wanted to see the Anaka into Anaka chain up, 3rd spear there, and just fill up the board. But instead, we just get a Lantern, and the attack does not look threatening. But maybe this strike spell can get us there.
Yeah, I think that. And it keeps it alive. Oh, this is
Twin. Remember when Twin was +2 and not +3?
Oh my goodness! Or what was worse was when it was +2 and +3. They didn't match, and that hurt me on a deep level.
It wasn't even Twin, but it was called Twin.
It wasn't identical twins. It was fraternal twins.
We just see a surrender. Wow, that was a fast game. We just steamrolled. Yeah, you said the Lee Sin was combo. I don't know. That looked like an aggro Lee Sin deck to me.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, those ballistic bots, there wasn't an answer for them, and they just got out of control.
Yeah, BB, very strong, very strong. So now that we got the ramp deck banned and the Lee Sin deck through, we just have to win with Fizz. And it's Fizz against 2 slow control decks. How are you liking the odds here on the White Rebellion side, Sport?
I think they're in White Rebellion's favor here. There's not a lot of good answers for the Fizz, especially out of the Anivia Mordekaiser deck. Once Fizz comes down with the Bone Club or a Yumi, he's going to be a menace.
All right. We are in there. We get to see Morgana ramp with Demacia yet again against good old Fizz Freljord. All right, we're gonna see the mulligans now. Now, I don't think we have time to predict what they're gonna keep, or do we?
I think it's a skip keep, a Catalyst, and Morgana keep. Oh, nope, I was wrong.
Nope. Actually, you might have been right. We just, the thing.
See, your boy's goated.
Yeah. All right, so Schwartz, we're gonna do what we always do, always by the 2 times we did it. We'll look at hands. We see on White Rebellion side, skip, bunch of buffs. We have an elusive unit. And on the other side, from Robomaster, we have ramp, and the Morgana. Which do we prefer here, considering the skip pulls as well?
I think I want to be on the side of skip, assuming that skip lives long enough to get the Bone Club.
I don't see much killing him, to be honest.
Way to stop him.
Yeah, skip. Yeah, one of her favorite cards, and it's definitely pulling here. But let's see if Robomaster can go big enough with his mana and then slam those big units before White Rebellion's critters just demolish his Nexus. Just another unit, another elusive unit.
So I'm assuming that we're going to see the Bone Club come down here onto skip.
Bone Club can get countered, right? If they use Bone Club, we can just Morgana and they don't have enough mana to play the curse, right? So we're going to save so much HP there. It's a little bit of a tough situation for White Rebellion here. If they play the weapon, they might run into issue of Morgana. If they don't play the weapon, they might just get ramped again. And they play the weapon.
It's also the question of if you don't play the weapon now and you give them another turn for free, are you going to be able to kill them in time? I do wonder if playing the Bandle Commando was the right play last turn, or if we would have had enough mana either way.
Yeah, if you're asking if we had enough mana to play the curse after we played the weapon, yes, we would have. No, because it's 4, it's not 2, it's from Morgana, so we wouldn't have enough spell anyways. And now we just get to see some Demacia stuff. Swiftwing Lancer. I believe there has not been a real deck that ever played this card seriously. Like, I can't think of any deck on top of my head. Maybe. No, I'm pulling nothing here.
Probably a Poppy Tarek deck. But Nothing really comes to mind. You know, nothing.
Yeah, maybe
where it's really
some
a star player.
yeah,
It's just
maybe some SI stuff. Yeah, maybe somebody experimented with something, but it's definitely an underplayed card. Well, it was pulled a lot from what was the 6-mana spell called from Demacia that pulled a random 5-drop from Demacia? Going way back here, way
oh,
back.
wow.
You know, I
You're
don't
making
even
me
remember.
you're making me dig deep, Ace.
Yeah. But it's very vital for the storyline. I believe it was called Remembrance. Yeah, it's Remembrance.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes, yes. That discounted by 1 for each.
ally that has died this round. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was one of the decent pulls from it. So it's definitely seen some play, just not as a main deck. And now it just gets countered by this really, really great troll chant here. And it basically just wings just to damage the commando
Yeah.
and heal 1 with Morgana. Now, Schwartz, you mentioned that skip might cause an issue, but it's turn 6, and I don't see issues yet.
The other problem is them, Robomaster having a second cup, having the Morgana spell in hand. So even if Y Rebellion pays the tax, that skip's going right back to the backline.
Yeah, we definitely don't see stuff like Fizzes to go through those dark bindings. We don't really see Yumi cooking up to get those spell shields, after a few attacks. So it's looking a little bit tough, but I don't think it's that scary if we can get a good attack off this turn. Now the problem is the Morgana has lifesteal, and we all know lifesteal is straight out cheating.
Oh, they saved the spell.
Yeah, maybe going for a ramp this turn. We can also ramp with the 4-mana spell here. And the board is looking big from Robomaster side. 2 challengers, a lifesteal unit. It's tough to get through.
It'll be interesting to see.
Ooh, prank.
Oh,
Ooh. Pretty good aim. Pretty good prank.
yeah.
Wow. Yep, 6-mana ramp now. Cannot be used this turn, and the mana just floats.
I guess the issue is that Robomaster can still play Bowdeer or
Bowdeer Black and Dice.
Going to come out
next attack turn.
And going to threaten to end the game pretty quickly.
Yeah, fair point, because we're going to be threatening some damage right now after we pull some units. Oh, we can remove one of the landmarks here, so we only have to deal with 1 troll. Really good, flexible play from the explorers. So we're just going to be removing one of them, and now we have to deal with this bunch of challengers. Maybe possibly even Morgana attacking just for the heal, or do we want to keep Morgana back because the binding, I believe, is a second Morgana, so we don't want to risk.
I think you have to keep the second Morgana back. Having the Fizz here, it's a shame that we can't move the equipment over to the Fizz. I'd be willing to sacrifice the skip to play Fizz and put the weapon on Fizz instead. Almost.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Fizz is always one of those units that's, people hate to see him against you.
Looking at Robomaster's list, there are no freezes. All of Robomaster's interaction are strike spells or Morgana spell. And Fizz doesn't care about any of those.
Yeah, well said. I believe you did mention that also at the deck review. So really good hindsight right there, Schwartz. Good job. Gotta put credit where credit is due. So yeah, now we see the Fizz and the Battle Commando. Now there's decent amount of elusive units.
We know,
but we're also relatively healthy here with at 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some buffs. Yeah. I don't know, Schwartz. This is really hard to predict which way it goes. I believe both players still have chances. And with the 3 sisters in Y Rebellion's hand now they have a freeze to stop an attack or maybe a strike spell. So it's hard to predict where this goes from here.
Well, I think that this turn the skip is going to get stunned again. It'll be interesting to see what Robomaster chooses to do with their turn. I think that we do need to see the lander removal out of Y Rebellion to prevent those overwhelm units from coming across, as our Owlcats can simply chump out the Bowdeer.
Yeah, it's kind of true. That's kind of true, you know. Now that we do remove one of the overwhelm units, now our chump blockers are looking great because no overwhelm, no recorrexing, so Y Rebellion can still, you know, get another attack turn for sure here. Now let's see how much Robo Master can pull here to, you know, stay relatively healthy. You do have the Morgana, you do have 3 heal from the ramp spell, so I'm really bad at math now. I'm not gonna math how much damage there is, how much elusive, how much healing. So I'm just gonna let it play out itself, you know, and then just act like I knew this would happen.
10 here, and we've committed to using the claw, so puts 13. So that would be lethal. But we know that the Morgana spell is in hand and is going to stun one of these attackers. Oh, and we stack it all on the skip. Oh,
This is playing around strike spells. Now we know that there is second Morgana, right? But this is definitely playing around the strike spells because with the double, damn, I'm blanking. What's the spell called?
Concerted Strike.
No, the buff spell.
The buff spell.
Sky Splitter. So with double Sky Splitter, we actually go above the threshold for the concerted strike. So I like the idea. The idea was nice, but it gets punished by the second Morgana, which, to be fair, it's not main decked.
It's tough to play around a champion spell.
Yeah, it's definitely easy for us to say, "Oh my God, look at this bozo didn't play around the card that we actually see." But
No,
you know, from Y Rebellion, I feel like this was pretty decent because if it worked, it actually won on the spot. And now that it didn't work, he's still down to 9. 9 is respectful damage. Now it's not that much because they have healing.
Right.
But
so, I agree. I think it's very hard to play around a second copy of a champion in the deck. You know, we're asking them to, there's only 2 other copies. It is unfortunate that we're seeing these strike spells coming through here.
Wow, this fist is actually still can survive, right? If we just commit both of our burst spells on it. Now that might be a little bit dangerous because then we have no more burst spells, and the Master can basically see the entire hand of Y Rebellion. So I don't know. Yeah, he just goes for it. You know, can't blame the guy. It's probably the correct move.
Yeah.
But now let's see if Robomaster goes for the strike spell here, because he can basically see the whole hand of Y Rebellion except that one top deck. That's an Explorer. So let's see if Robomaster decides to go for it now, or just try to go for that hit that's there, just does 3 damage to all units. But if he was planning to use hit that's there, wouldn't it be better to just attack with Morgana as well to get the healing?
I agree. I think that playing at the stairs here is a solid choice. Should clear their board and end functionally in the game.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Morgana attacking if we are committing to that play. And we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's still a decent play. Now, I am sad that we didn't use the maximum potential of Morgana there, but alas, it's still a good move, and I believe it's still winning pretty heavily for Robomaster here because I don't see any threats on the board.
We do have the Overwhelm.
Yeah.
But the strike spells and Robomaster's hand are going to make this difficult to stick.
Yeah. Also, it's just at 12 HP. If we put a weapon on it, then it's at our unit is at 4 HP, so it's even hard to get through it. And with the top deck of Omenhawk, great top deck for turn 1, but now it's now it's not that
turn
good.
10, not ideal.
Now we did mention bird a lot in the preview. We mentioned birds a lot. That's
Unfortunately,
not kind of bird we want to see.
yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like right now that this deck is giving us the bird.
Okay. Don't let that go over your head. That was actually insane. Alright. Yeah, looks like a 1-1.
Yeah,
Looks like a 1-1 to me.
to me. I don't see a real path for White Rebellion to make this happen, unfortunately for them. But we'll get to see bird on bird and see if the Anivia deck can pull it through.
Yeah, now we do have to wait and see White Rebellion played out. I do like just like going through the motion to play out the game. Now, probably some of their, mental capacity is already thinking about game 3, but it's still nice to, play the game out. You never know what can happen. You never know your top decks. Like if there's less than 1% chance of happening, there's still chance of happening. That's how I like to go. Now I also like basically torturing myself by never surrendering. Now I don't, uh, tell people to do that a lot, but it's definitely nice to go through the motion, see if your opponent can cleanly end the game. Make them work for it. Basically, if it's one more turn, 2 more turns, just make them play it correctly, and well, you're already thinking about the next game.
Yeah, I mean it does buy us potentially one more turn with the frostbite here, but I think this may just go ahead and end it.
Yeah. Also, Robomaster is really going to town here. Just place all the unit. He really wants to inflict the damage here. I like this. Oh, I'm really enjoying this. And we see the surrendering there. We didn't get to see the attack. We saw the surrender. All right. 1-1. We got a serious, Schwartz. We got a serious.
We got a serious. We got a serious series. Sometimes you have to go for the psychic damage ace.
Now, who's winning that battle? That's the real question.
Well, so here's what'll be interesting. I think that in this final match, White Rebellion really needs to find Fizz. Skip is not going to do it. There is so much removal in this Anivia Mordekaiser deck. Now the other thing is, if White Rebellion does stack a big Fizz, Ruination does not target.
Yeah, but you are saying that Ruination doesn't target, but that is the only card in the whole deck, aside from second Mordekaisers, that will kill the Fizz. There's no freezes, even though it's inferior. Absolutely no freezes in deck. So looking at opening hands again, I'm looking at something bleak from side of Robomaster, while White Rebellion is on cloud 9 right now. Schwartz, how are you liking this?
I think it's a little bit awkward that we have the Fizz, but no spells. And also drawing our buffing units before with 2 Yumis in hand is also unfortunate. We'd really like you want to see those buffs directly on the Fizz or on the Yumi so that the stats can carry over. But it looks like Robomaster's early hand has been salvaged.
Wow, just one fading icon. It was fading icon, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, right. It's fading icon. Yeah, I'm good with names. I'm great with names. What do you mean?
But we're the best names.
Yeah, with just 1 2-drop here. Now Robomaster is not that threatened, but now that Fizz is buffed. That's a 4/3 Fizz.
And now we have the spells in hand.
And we have enough mana to play Yumi. Ooh.
Yeah, so I think we'll see the Yumi played out on Fizz here. And that is
protection.
Big fish.
Wow.
7/5.
On that note, Schwartz, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
Would that be a...
It would be a fish, yeah. Oh my god, was that not the best joke you've ever heard, Schwartz?
It's certainly one of the jokes of all time, Ace.
Yeah, I like it. It's a fish. Oh my god.
I like the idea of a swing here from Y Rebellion. They're other than potentially playing into Shadow Isle Tellstones, there's not a punish for the swing. I suppose baiting out the vengeance.
Ooh. And now, yeah, that was kind of awkward for Y Rebellion because Fizz didn't have elusive, right? You did mention there is only the buff spell that can kill it. But now with the getting the vengeance out of the hand, the Yadulski gets to swing as well and another buff back in the deck. And Fizz gets to slam with 8, and we just down to 8 HP on turn 4.
Yeah, and also remove goodness. Removes one of the answers from Robomaster's hand and had to leave the prey behind as a sacrifice outlet for the draw, although it's unclear like what Robomaster should even go for here.
You know what I like to see here, Shorts? I want to see Y Rebellion doing the Demacia side of Fizz Yumi. I want to see Rally next turn. Now, do we need to use it? Absolutely fucking not. Actually, we might need to use it as a spell to get things off Fizz. Well, we actually might see it here. Oh, the freeze as well. Wait, but the Fizz spell might still be better. Oh, we have to commit it so Fizz gets elusive, right? So we just commit the Rally. Oh my god, my favorite Demacian deck.
And the spell can only sacrifice once. So the Fizz is just going to go through and end the game.
Yeah, the Fizz just goes through and we rally. Even though the Fizz didn't go through, we rallied. Oh my god. Wait, that just ends our thing.
That's the end of it. And like I was saying earlier, there was just no answer for a stacked Fizz.
That Fizz was kind of huge.
That was a big fish. 10-7.
Yeah, and with that, we see Dragons get the first win on the board. That's kind of exciting. It comboed off and then Fizz in the end, though.
Yeah, Fizz did Fizz things. Now, if we're looking at the Maokai Saplings lineup, who are you sending next, Ace? Are you putting in Jinden or are you sending in Samsans?
Well, see, I feel like lineup-wise, I would definitely put Jinden out there. I feel like he has some disgusting decks that might be really good into this slow combo stuff, you know? Mostly into the ramp. But then again, it's hard, man. From what I've seen, Y Rebellion is really comfortable with this deck. Now, we did see him falter in round 2, but, you know, the draw wasn't the best. But I definitely feel like he's playing his decks to the limits, especially what we saw with game 3 with that baiting out of Vengeance, with using his spells correctly, then just absolutely committing that rally, the Fizz rally, the playful trickster. I really like how he's playing today, and I really hope that Maokai Saplings have something in store in the back.
I would be curious to see I'd be really curious to see there if Maokai Saplings wants to send Anivia Mordekaiser back into the wood chipper, or if now the bans will shift based on how those games went.
Now, I do have to mention, in the beginning, I said, you know, Robomaster, I don't maybe love him as most of the other guys. I'm switching that back. I love Robomaster the most, because I remember he DM'd me once, asked me a question about timelines. Like, the timelines guy asked me a question about timelines, you know? So Robomaster, definitely right here in my heart. Wait, am I showing on the right or the left side? Right here. All of this, Robomaster. I apologize for what I said earlier. Robomaster, all you. Now, you're out of the thing, but your team is not. So, let's see what I can bring. Like, the matchup was definitely exciting. We saw series, right? We saw 2-1. It wasn't just a clean sweep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see round 2. How you think, Schwartz? How we felt about this?
I think it was a very good series of games. Like you said, saw that when the Viz deck draws poorly, things go sideways. So a little bit dependent on those early mulligans and draws, and hoping that those buffs. Very fortunate that those buffs landed on a new Fizz when we already had one in hand. But very interested to see who Maokai Saplings sees as the better matchup going in here to carry the team forward.
I believe that was called the good player syndrome. You just get the buffs on the unit you want anyways. Now I don't have it. I don't know about you, Shmut. I rarely have it.
Yeah.
But White Rebellion definitely has it. And
part of the cards.
Yeah, I believe with that we are going to send it to a quick break. I think I'm going to put some sweater on. I'm feeling kind of coldish. All the while you're making me chilly here. So let's go in a break. Guys, stay here. Put some W's in the chat for the dragons. W's in the chat, everybody. And see you in a bit.
Clouds move closer, but with a deeper sweat. Oh, beneath them we look on. When they part comes the hatred they bring. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their face. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until our last breath. So what is to be left for us? My people look on and say, don't fear what you don't know, 'cause we're far from certain fate. And we'll make our final stand. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their flames. So stand upon these fallen lands
All right, welcome back, everyone. Now, I was feeling coldish. Now, I know, it's what? It's 9th of November. It's maybe even 8th for some people, but I already got my Xmas sweaters going on. I am that kind of guy. I like festive moods, and I'm already on Christmas. I've been on Christmas all year. On the mood. Now it's coming. So I'm gonna wear these sweaters. I wear them every day. So now I'm gonna wear them on stream too. And it's on point. We saw a lot of Freljord in this last best of three, right, Schwartz?
Yes. What you said.
I like it. I like it when you say that. Makes me look like I said something important. All right. So we still got the White Rebellion. Nobody's kicking him off this best of match for now. Now let's quickly go over his decks again, so we don't forget what he's playing. We have to remember what he's playing. So let's just get into his decks and then see who he will be facing. All right. So now we did forget to recap the games real quickly, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna take game one because that's the one I remember the most. Actually, that's the one I don't remember. There was Ram, I believe.
So it was the
Ram
Lee Sin. We saw the Lee Sin deck. Lee Sin Victor. We got the ballistic bots down into the ramp deck, and ballistic bots went pew pew pew, and the game.
Ballistic bots, right.
Bots went
That game
ballistic.
was fast. That game was fast. They went to ballistic.
Yeah.
All right, Shorts. Game two. You seem to be the one that remembers more.
We saw unfortunately for the Fizz Yumi deck kind of tripped over itself and wasn't quite able to get there. The Morgana lockdown skip and the life gain and big bodies just closed out the game. Then in that game 3, we saw Fizz Yumi do Fizz Yumi things. Had a vengeance get dodged, and then there just wasn't an answer for a 10-7 elusive fish that said spells don't matter.
And rally. Let's not forget the rally. The most important stuff there. Yeah. Great recap, Shorts. I'm gonna have you do recap after every break, just so you know. From this point on, you're my recap guy. All right. Now let's recap the lineup of my rebellion. Let's get into it. On the first deck, we saw, you mentioned it, ballistic bots go ballistic when you play them super early, and White Rebellion did manage to do that in the first game. So good old Victor Lee can play aggressive, can slow down, play combo. On to the next one. Wait, let me use my force here. Whoop, there we go. I just forgot that I have to use the force every time. Okay, Fizz Yumi, as you said. Fizz, we did see him falter in game 2, but then he really fizzed hard all over the opponent. So definitely seen both sides where it can falter a little bit and where it can absolutely stomp. So let's see which side of the coin we get this time. And let me use my force once again to slide to the third deck. Whoop. There we go, perfect transition. And the third deck, Ramp with Mina Swiftfoot. Now, we didn't see this deck, and I'm really hoping we see the deck, I love to see some Mina action. I love to see some Ionia. I've never said this before in my life, but yeah, I would like to see some Ionia. It's new. I haven't seen it in a while. And facing White Rebellion for Mapai Sapling, the second player going in is the one and only Samsen. How are you feeling about Samsen's Schwartz? Before we do next, overall thoughts about Samsen's?
Great player. I think Samsen's brought a strong lineup here. Really interested to see how the picks and bans go based on what they brought.
Yeah. Interesting decks you said, and the first deck we have Aatrox Morgana. Now, we have seen some Aatrox Kane brought last week. It did see some action, it did see some, I believe even some W's it pulled. No, yeah, I think it did some W's as well. Now, we have Aatrox Morgana Demacia. Now, is this combo or is this mid-range, Schwartz?
I think that this is very much mid-range, looking to do maybe some rally shenanigans with Ranger Knight Defector and Cataclysm. It looks like an oops all weapons build. using Petrosite, Broadwing, and Fleet Feather Tracker with the traditional combo using Dark and Harp to control the enemy's board. Blocking Badger Bear is also huge. Gives Samsans an answer for those pesky elusives, buying another turn to maybe bring on the Aatrox Apocalypse.
Well said. Now, whenever there is a Aatrox deck in play, I always take a look at this weapon count. Now, me personally, I always liked having a little bit more weapons, a little bit like 12, 13. Now we see Samsung going for 10. How are you feeling about that, Schwartz?
I think that one of the issues is if you get higher weapon counts, you can brick into those awkward hands where all you have are weapons, and not all of these weapons are playable as early units. Dark and Aegis, of course, bring out Ja Rule, the boy, fairly early, but the majority of the rest of these units are 7, 8, mana. They aren't going to be doing anything in that early game, and you may already be run over by the time that you're able to play them.
Yeah, it's a little bit of would you rather break of having no weapons, or would you rather break of having nothing to put your weapons on? Now, Samson went for 10 weapons, and we'll see how that fares. Let's go to the next deck. Let's just use my force again. Swoosh. Oh my god, I may have the high ground here. And second deck of Samsons, we see Echo Sivir. Now, Schwartz, I don't know how much you're versed in the Echo realm, but this Echo Sivir has been coming in and out of fashion every week. I don't know what's happening. People were so hyped on Echo Sivir 2 weeks ago. Then last week, everybody was back on Jinx. Then this week, they're back on Sivir. What's happening here, Schwartz? Why is Sivir here? What's Sivir bringing us?
I think the main thing that Sivir brings is a little bit more of a combo element to the deck. Being able to put Scavenge Camo Cloaker on Sivir can give us an entire board of spell shielded elusive units. Being able to run Camo Cloaker and have it have some synergy may also be an answer to blocking out an annoying Fizz, alongside Quicksand to remove elusive.
Yeah, you did mention Sivir. Also, better body than Jinx, the 5/4 spell shield, a quick attack they both have, but it's definitely there. Now, I personally see it's win more kind of card. When you slam a Sivir, I feel like you're already winning. But I really like Scavenge Camo Cloak. You can even put it on something like the drop border. It becomes a 1/3, but that 1/3 is starting to generating your cards, and the opponent is like, why am I trying to remove this 1/3? But then it's like, it's the whole shabazam. It's annoying to deal with,
Right.
And really important, 1 deny in the deck. Do you like playing 1 deny just so your opponent has it in the back of their mind? Or are you just like, all in, no kind of backup kind of guy?
I like having the 1 of Rite of Negation, giving the opponent something to play around. As you said earlier, an opportunity to make mistakes. Because even if I don't have the Rite of Negation, if I can get them to wait or make an awkward pass instead of committing to a play, that's a win.
Well said. And with that, I think we're gonna toss it over to the third deck. Let me use some little bit of force. There we go. And this is where it gets exciting. Ezreal, Nilla, 3 temples. Targeting. But is it good? Schwartz, is this combo, is every deck in Legends of Runeterra combo? And is this combo? Both questions.
I think all the fun decks are combo. It looks like this is looking to draw an absurd number of cards using Temple, making Ruined Rex, pumping Ruined Rex to max value on draw, decreasing the cost of our cards, using Ruined Rex to turbo level the Ezreal so that all of our draw spells, burst spells, turn into direct face damage and burn. I could see this being an awkward play, maybe into Fizz Yumi. If Fizz is put down on the board, all those targets could get canceled out.
Yeah, you did mention that the targeting might be a little bit of not there because you mentioned Fizz, but there is also a ramp that doesn't play a lot of units. So it's definitely something that we'll have to keep an eye on. But also, 3 temples in a meta where there's not that. I mean, there is actually. I wanted to say that there is more removal than we usually see. So how are we feeling about this 3 temple?
It's interesting. I think that the game plan is kind of dependent on the temple. There's not a lot of other sources of outside of Nyla and Vic Crash. There's not a lot of sources of high draw volume to really get value out of Ruined Racks. So I think the game plan here is F it, we ball.
That's my favorite kind of gameplay. And with that, let's look at the whole picture, taking a step back, looking at all of the decks on one screen, just how I like it now. Schwartz, we're gonna do this faster. Now, we mentioned Ezreal likes to target, and all of these decks don't play that much units to be targeted. What are we feeling bans are gonna be from both sides? And then you can explain them. First, all I wanna hear is 2 decks you want to see off the table from both sides.
Echo Sivir and Izumi.
So I like it. Removing some of the more non-interactive decks, I would say, from both sides. Kind of, Actually, not kind of. I think it's what I just said is straight on point. Now, I am interested about what you said about banning Fizz Yumi. Now, you did say, right? How are you targeting the Fizz Yumi? But how is Ezreal trying to get through the ramp deck as well?
I think that you do have an option in the Nyla Ezreal deck to play a more aggressive game plan. There were a lot of small units. We could look to have Mirai Warden to go wide, get some value with Augmented Clockling, and even if we don't have a unit to target, Ruined Rex and Riptide Rex can still just go straight face.
Yeah. It's actually a little bit of a hide and burn. Well, that Ruined Rex, if we have a temple on the board, we can just absolutely smack it down, push, depends on how many cards we draw. You can even push 5 damage, and that's not it's not a small amount of damage, it's pretty decent. Now, on the other side, we have Victor Lee. Now, I feel like Victor Lee is happy to face any of these decks. What would you say about that, Sports? Is it too easy to face them, or?
I think that the Victor Lee, I would think, would match up well into Aatrox. You can put big units back in their hand. You have bounce spells. You have denies for their strikes. Now, I think that it gets a little bit awkward into maybe the Nyla Ezreal, just depending on your draws. But I think I would be comfortable playing into either of those decks on Victor Lee.
All right, so let's see. We got the decks. Now, this is a little bit of a curveball now, isn't it, Schwartz? You were mentioning we want to see the Sivir ban. I was on board with it, but I can definitely see why are we banning the Morgana Aatrox. And on the other side, I'm going to take credit that I was correct here. Because I said that the ramp deck might be harder. Now,
yeah,
not to boast, not to boast, but I'm going to boast a little bit. And we have no time to talk about anymore because we are into the game. We got a Fizz Yumi, both in hand, and on the other side, we have Ezreal Nila, but with the real champion in hand, with the temple in hand. Which hand do we prefer here, Schwartz?
I think I'm taking the Fizz Yumi. Just being able to... Y Rebellion has spells in hand, and there's not a ton of removal available for the Fizz. We'll likely have to play it a little bit slow, depending on what. Well, now I think it's just slap down the Fizz and go to town.
Yeah, I do like going to town. Pause. Nila comes down. Nila, great unit to start. Those draw spells in hand. Get them going. Get your whole deck working. Now, White Rebellion is basically has his whole combo on his side. Now, it's not the fastest of decks. Now, you still have to play the Fizz. Even when you play the Fizz, you still need to play um, spells to get the elusive. So instead, White Rebellion might take a step back, play Dulski, play the good dog here. No, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
Ooh.
The Explorer got a buff.
Yeah, the 3/4 on the Explorer is huge. Being able to drag Vanilla, slowing down the draw. Unfortunate 1-drop hit
Now,
for Samsans.
yeah, we did mention the Explorer coming down to kill the Nyla, which is really important. But also, it created the best card that White Rebellion can have in this deck, in this matchup, and that's Destroyment of Landmarks. Now, with that in the back of the hand of White Rebellion, he must be feeling good about this board state right now.
It's looking pretty strong, especially with the buff on the Udolski, making it so that this Nihilak is not going to be able to swing in for free. Although it looks like
still does swing. Yeah.
now, if you're Samsans, do you have to go ahead and try and remove the Udolski, or do you wait and have the opponent commit?
If I'm being honest, I wish I wasn't. I wish I wasn't Samsons with this board state because it's looking a little bit bleak. But if there is any player that can actually pull this out, it might be Samson. I've seen him pull out of insane stuff, and he's definitely well versed into the PNZ.
And I've lost Ace.
No, I'm back. I'm back. I was just taking a breather in the backside. Why are we targeting Fizz? What's happening?
I think it may just be trying to get spells out of the hand, and potentially just saying if Samsans can't remove the Fizz right now, she's dead in the water.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit in a pickle. Now, no attack turn and still at 19. We might be feeling kind of okayish. It's definitely not looking the best.
It is unfortunate that these draws are having to be used here. Oh,
Indeed.
now I think that the play here is to probably to put out the Ruined Rex, because I don't know when else Samsons is going to get the opportunity, and putting these targets down should level the Ezreal and gives the opportunity to maybe end the game.
Of this Ruined Rex, how much is it hitting the Fizz? How much is it going to go down the water, down the drain?
Okay, opting for the Rocket Barrage is also fleeting. Being able trying to remove the Udolski here. But White Rebellion just has all the cards.
Definitely, I see definitely cards here, and I see yet another rally. And is it going to come down to the rally again?
Now, Ace, do you ever play the Make It Rain there?
Because it was fleeting, I probably would, but I can also see like keeping the mana back depending on what Sanson wants to play here. Now, also the attack isn't, I guess, it is kind of threatening, but not that, so Sansons might still feel kind of safe here, I guess.
If you're White Rebellion, do you go ahead and commit the spell to get the elusive and save the challenger?
if you're asking about the Three Sisters, I might do it here, or maybe even the.
Oh, I was thinking
It's gonna be or is it just committing rally instantly? Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now there is a fair amount of removal here, but if we go for Three Sisters into Fury of the North, that puts the unit at a 5. And we have Gotcha that does 3 and Mystic that does 2, that's also at 5. So I think Samsons might be chilling here.
Okay, so takes a safer play. I think the Gotcha has to be committed here to prevent the double swing from the face.
Yeah. Still 6 damage. Still pushed a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Now, it does look like Y Rebellion is starting to run out of gas here. What a hit for Samsons.
Double Ezreal as well. That's also an elusive blocker if it comes down to having to block with Ezreal. We can easily just sack the Ezreal for that one turn and just replay him on the following turn, or on the same turn if we decide to block for it with it. So it's definitely swinging a little bit towards Samsons.
But
let's see it.
That this temple has just been rotting in Samson's hand for the entire.
And I think it might keep rotting there, Shorts. Because I feel like Samsons did saw the Explorer. Yeah, it definitely knows that there is an Explorer spell in hand. And, when you're playing this kind of deck, you definitely know they picked the landmark destruction. So Samson basically knows if she plays the landmark, it's definitely going to be destroyed for 2 mana. So it's just great tempo play from Y Rebellion. But Samsons might go for just to get it out of the hand anyways, right? Because maybe the top deck would be a second one, so you just want to have it there.
Maybe just to remove spells from the hand, force early commits from Y Rebellion.
You cannot play around it, right? You basically have to go with your head straight in the wall and hope it breaks on the second time you go in, right?
And good players draw good cards.
And even set up for it, right? That's pretty decent. That line of play was satisfying to watch.
The damage here, though, so we'll have to block with the Ezreal. Looking, and would be able to block. So it looks like unless Y Rebellion wants to entomb the Ezreal, we'll be taking 2 damage this turn.
Now, the entomb also might be used on the temple, honestly. The entomb on the temple might, save up 2 turns of free draws from Samson's side. So, and with this, you still get some damage in, and you get a unit. So when both players are this low on cards, every bit of unit, every bit of damage counts. So it's gonna be tough. I feel like we're definitely gonna see a tomb on the landmark, which is what we rarely see in this game.
Ooh. Now, do you play the Ezreal out this turn as well? Or do you need the extra draw?
Oh, that's played. That's played.
Samsons opted for the extra draw.
Yeah. Oh, and Y Rebellion doesn't do it? Decides that that's not enough draws?
And Samsons draws another unit.
Ooh, not elusive unit, which is really important.
From Y Rebellion to remove the second.
Oh my god. I feel like this is like 2 main protagonists just having the plot armor and just top decking good cards after good cards after good cards. Basically exactly what they need. Like Samsons needed a second temple there. Now Y Rebellion just gets a way to remove the second temple.
Oh,
but Samsons did definitely got some value from it, right? We saw some card draw.
Oh,
We're gonna see Fizz. Ooh.
I mean, I guess you don't have an
Ooh,
option
risky.
here. You have to hope that that last card isn't a burst speed spell.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, decides to play it slow first. I like that. I like that. See if they do anything first. Of course, we would have always seen this. Now let's see.
With an elusive
Commit here.
blocker, do you try to remove the rest of the board instead?
Yeah, I don't hate the idea of just going for the commando here, but you have to eventually deal with this Fizz somehow. And I don't hate this testing the waters with this, but I feel like
And if
it's
they
kind of too
spend the
big
last
of a
spell
commitment.
too, they won't be able to give Fizz elusive next turn.
Yeah, but they could play the Entomb on a unit or Fury of the North. Fury of the North. Important note: it's Grant, not Give, from what I remember, or is it Give? Did I just remember it incorrectly?
It's give, not grant.
It's Give. Oh man, I was trying to make a really smart point there, but then I just didn't. And also to notice, there you go, our lovely producer in the back office, Hirsch, reminding us that Yumi is one attack out of leveling.
Mm-hmm.
And why Rebellion commits it commits the Three Sisters after the commitment of Gotcha, saves the Fizz, and now with the Entomb, removes an elusive blocker, so Fizz is forced to block. So this game basically came down to like battle of attrition, right? Who can last longer with their important units on the board.
Oh, and another spell to be able to.
And it's a good spell. And it's a game-ending spell, top deck from White Rebellion side.
What did I say, Ace? Both theories. I said to ban the Fizz Yumi deck. And what happened?
Well, I don't know, Schwartz. Are we allowed to tell the third player if White Rebellion wins here? Are we allowed to tell Jinden to just ban Fizz? Can we do that?
I don't think we're allowed to interfere in the proceedings, Ace. I can only watch in horror.
Yeah, we can only watch and act smart like we knew the correct plays, right? I like that. Let's just go with that. Alright, Schwartz. The same story as we do all game. Now we got P and Z on both sides, Lee on one, Nile on the other. Which hand do we prefer here? Looking at both ballistic bots a ballistic bot and a Nilla, which means both players have their engines online on 2. Which do we prefer here?
Oh, that's a tough call. I think I really like Y Rebellion's hand here, but there's so much value with that temple, and there's not a way to remove it yet on the side of Y Rebellion.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think on top of my head which landmark removal spells were in Y Rebellion's deck. I believe there's definitely
There are 3 copies of Aftershock.
Yeah, and some recalls.
So there are 2 copies of Unworthy Soul as well. So that would be a cheap tempo play.
And Tellstones.
And Tellstones. So
it's a lot, right?
Effectively 5 Aftershocks, and there's 1 in the hand. So
oof. Yeah, it's as we said in the beginning, it's tough to play.
Spins the Aftershock on the Nyla.
I guess the thought process is they do just have a lot of Aftershocks in the deck, right? So they can play a little bit of frisky with them, and pushing 1 with the DRGN. Important, very important.
And there would be no way to block the Nyla on the following turn.
Oh, I'm down that is real. Yeah, just start generating the mistakes. Oh, never mind. Oh, let's see what card we pick here. We would definitely like another removal for landmarks, I believe here. Kind of a good top to have in the back.
I think Unworthy Soul might be the pick here. Could also see ballistic bot to try and build value. But I think
important to note. Yeah, Unworthy Soul doesn't destroy the landmark. It just recalls it, right? So it will just slow Sans for another turn.
And it looks like that next tried to go with the Unworthy Soul.
Yeah. It's at 4 mana, so it doesn't leave some shenanigans with ballistic bot and having enough mana for that. So we might see just a cheeky pass from White Rebellion, and we see the cheeky pass. Look at that, Schwartz. I'm predicting all of the moves here.
Let's see if Samsans decides to throw down a temple.
Now, honestly, I don't even hate it because you play 5 mana, they spend 4 mana, and you just go into the next turn. You just handshake mana. Yeah. Just pretty played. Yeah. Happy days. Just move on.
I think it's good to get it out now.
Well, this whole
and just said, I did it once, I'll do it again.
Yeah, and on the other side, we do have a way to remove the Ezreal and leave Samsans with no units on the board. But if you would have told Samsans that there would have been Landmark alive on the board for more than one action, she would have taken it immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't think this is a bad position for Samsans. And I think White Rebellion definitely needs some big stuff here.
It does. Ooh. 3 targets, removing a unit, so no Dragonlings. And a full hand for Samsans.
That's a lot of cards. That's Ruin Rex with a lot of cards drawn.
And now the question is, what is the level up progress on this? She might be leveled already.
Wow, that's actually because of the one temple turn, but that was a lot of draws with temple. Yeah. We see the Nyla.
We can see Nyla into Ruined Rex to remove the
everything. Remove everything. Oh, well, Nyla minute removed. Now, what if we just play Second Temple? Isn't Second Temple just funnier?
Funny, yes. Yeah. Good, I don't know.
Funny, yes. Yeah, funny, yes. So we are here for the funny, Schwartz, me and you. I feel like the players are definitely here for the good plays.
And that's why we're casting and they're playing.
Yeah, true that. It's okay. We got the personality. Don't worry, Schwartz. Yeah. We're here for a reason.
I think that this game has firmly swung in Samson's favor. The longer this temple is on the board, the harder it is going to be to deal with.
Yeah, especially with the unlimitless draw that in Samson's hand, not just from the temple, also from the clock lanes, also from the Vikrash that's going to plant those draws. And also the clocklings can just get more clocklings, so just clocklings galore.
Mm-hmm.
And if we feel like it, we can even play Pogger Stay. Well, not anymore, but we can play Pogger Stay.
Draw, and predict and draw for free at burst speed. That seems good.
That's some anti-inflation stuff right there. 0 mana for drawing? Now, let's play a little bit of what's it called? Devil's Advocate Schwartz. Is it possibility for White Rebellion to maybe win this if they top deck a Lee Sin and take it from there?
I don't know if they have the cards in hand to fuel the Lee Sin after this. I think it's a tall ask just with what is in hand and with Samson's being at 16 life.
Yeah, and also that Ezreal is kind of leveled, right?
Yeah, how could that do in fact be a leveled Ezreal? One play that I would love to see out of Samson's here is to play the Piltover Temple Stones. Oh, and there's the Surrender. There's too much value off of that temple.
And we see it again, Schwartz. We have, again, another series in our hands.
Yeah, I do think that it is really unfortunate on the side of Fire Rebellion to have used that Aftershock on an island. And maybe it's you have to stop the value early. Maybe, like you said, you have 4 other Aftershocks in your deck. Open up, find those, dig through. But that temple just took over the game. Important
that Samson got the Ezreal Nyla out of the way, got the win with it, and now we get to see the Sivir deck in action against the Victor and Ballistic Balls.
Yeah.
So looking at opening hand, we got 1-2 predicts and a Sivir.
Yeah.
On the other side, we have no playable units. How are you liking this, Shorts?
That's a clunker. And drop order value. Now, Ace, the last time that we cast together, I believe we saw the most hard cast drop orders I've ever seen in my entire life. So it's nice to see one dropping in for free.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1 mana for 4 stats, right? It's just super tempo play. Everybody should play 3 drop orders in every of his decks.
Do we get the Camo Cloaker drop border play?
Oh, didn't go for the Camel Cloaker. I missed the prediction, what we chose there. But we didn't go for the Camel Cloaker, right?
Feral Prescience, going for those, the 0 cost predict, non-committal, need to find an Echo.
Yeah, the predicts definitely help you find an Echo. You still have to find them. But look at the White Rebellion side. Here. Yeah, we were talking about the find the Echo. But can White Rebellion find a single playable unit? That is the question. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 aftershocks.
Oops, all spells.
And also all aftershocks, but in the wrong deck, right?
Oh, this is tough. I think I might take the
Voices?
Oh, I was thinking almost the burst draw instead.
Oh, this sucks. Basically, White Rebellion doesn't have anything to do, so they just decide to go for the starting to just remove the spells. Oh, we see an Echo. There's an Echo. There's an Echo. And we have Deny in hand as well.
And can play Echo with Deny.
Yeah, now...
And Echo's level.
White Rebellion has 3 aftershocks again. Just so many aftershocks.
But with them being slow speed, that the Deny is going to ensure that Echo gets at least 1 swing in.
Or forces a palm out of the hand, right? Right, we see the thing. Maybe we don't even see the Deny. I feel like Deny might be kept for later and just taking this hit. Nope. You just go for it.
Maybe just seeing that the hand is bad. Forcing out fast speed answers.
There we go. The palm. Yeah. Okay. This is the game, Schwartz. This is the game where we get to see if Sivir actually does freaking anything in this deck.
It's a unit.
Like, there you go.
White Rebellion has a unit.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Dragon Link as well, so it's a pretty good unit as well. But now we see Sivir and Voices, so everything is buffed, and Sivir will give everything spell shield and quick attack. Now let's see if Sivir can be there in this case of in this kind of scenarios where they remove the Echo, and we have to find different ways to win. And if Sivir can actually do that.
Maybe I'm just old, Ace, but I think I'd really love to have a Jinx right now.
Hey, you don't have to tell me, man. I used to play Jinx in Shurima with nothing but Jinx and just trying to pull her with Rite of Calling. So it was just Mono Jinx, Sand Jinx, and it was great. I love Jinx. That's why I keep saying, can this Sivir even pull her own weight, let alone do as much as a Jinx would?
I like this play. Leaving the Voices back to ensure that it doesn't get removed. Ooh, the sleep though.
This is what I don't do enough, Schwartz, lately. And what I should do more. Sleep, not play the card itself. Just a random thought put out there. Yeah. Sleep is good, guys. Sleep is good. Yeah.
I think we'll see the commit to save the drop order here to maintain board width. Camo Cloaker is huge.
Camo Cloaker is good, but I feel like they might go for predict here because the next turn is a defensive turn, so maybe they just want to play a unit, Just play a unit, predict into the next turn.
I love the idea. If we're gonna play, brutal. I do love the idea of putting the Camel Cloaker on the Sivir so we can eventually get the Dream, the big board of elusives.
Oh, we get to see it. Maybe we get to see it. The Lee Sin is there. Maybe we don't get to see it.
I think.
But you know what? We're gonna see, Schwartz. We're gonna see this amazing Camel Cloaker put on the drop border and absolutely solo carry the game.
I believe it, Ace. I'm waiting to see it.
Yeah, you believe that hard that you have to take a pause between the Hypnotized set and the time we responded just to process that.
It's such a big brain play. I just really had to work through it. I had to chew on it for a second.
Ain't nobody expecting a elusive drop border.
What a draw from Y Rebellion. Lee Sin showing up at just the right time. Unfortunately, this is, even with the spell shield, this is going to end up killing the Sivir.
Yeah, the spell shield does stop the kick, but it doesn't stop the challenge.
Yeah.
So Sivir just gets removed here. Now, I'm a believer. Now, this game is still salvageable on the side of SAPS. Now, we do have to go immediately for Camel Cloaker here and swing. Otherwise, we're going to get hard countered. And I don't even see a better place. I feel like Samson should definitely just go for it, Oh, nope, decides to go for Fallen and now might get really punished by this. Oh, do we not see? Or, yeah, I think it'll still be played.
And
Yep,
then having the unworthy soul in hand, it doesn't even matter.
Was that second Lee Sin? No, it's a victor. Well,
I think that's game. There's just not enough gas left in the tank here.
Yeah, Schwartz, it's now it might not be over this turn because it's still like quite healthy, but it's looking damn near impossible.
The unworthy soul makes it really challenging.
I like that word, really challenging. Yeah. It's in the realm of possibilities.
Yeah.
All right, keyword. What are we getting? A challenger. Oh, Schwartz, did you just manifest that?
There's going to be no board left.
I like it, Hirsch. I like it, Schwartz. You said it's going to be challenging, and then Lee Sin just rolls challenger. I feel like you manifested that into the reality,
The game knew. Oh.
The game knew and you knew.
Okay, so this does give SAPS another chance to predict and draw another card, saves health, spares a turn. An echo. Excellent. I think that's exactly the hit.
I like using the slogan from this year's Worlds in League, make them believe. And this echo is almost making me believe here. Unworthy Soul is there, yes. But I feel like we might be able to, stall maybe another turn. Like if we use this Camel, but then the blocker elusive, it's so hard because it's on the stack, so we don't get the attack turn. Now it comes down to trying to survive another turn, which is maybe doable because we have units. Lee Sin doesn't have overwhelm. All right, Schwartz, putting you on the spot. What keyword is Victor getting next turn?
Impact.
Impact. It's region. I like the guess, but it's wrong. It's region. It's gonna get region. It's always region, actually.
Oh, okay. Region? Yeah,
it's always region, actually. Ooh.
Oh, what a draw.
Can we survive? Can we survive? Lee Sin spell. A random keyword.
I don't think.
Alright. Pivot. Quick attack. Useless. Now we also get to see we just see the swing. okay, it's probably gonna be full swing. But if we are not dead, but there's still the knife.
Spicy. Yeah, I
Now,
think the play
Schwartz,
they-
Schwartz, we got a little bit excited, you know. We wanted to believe, we wanted to see it, but there's also deny on White Rebellion side, you know.
Oh yes, that does put a damper on things. Oh, what a backbreaker to go from such a brick terrible hand to
To actually, you know, trying to believe and then this deny sitting in the back there. It would have been actually so insane here because we are still relatively healthy here. And this chrono break, oof.
imagine if Samsons had been able to hold on to that right.
Oh, that's right. Oh, oh. Well, I was a believer up until now. Now it's kind of hard to believe, I would say.
Yeah. I believe that the game is over.
Oh, drop order! We get to see.
Camel Cloaker, the play.
Oh my god. Schwartz, what's happening with the saplings?
I'm telling you, unless Jinden bans Fizz, this series is over.
Yeah, just to put it out there, if Jinden does ban Fizz, it was not in Dice Bias at any point. No, I'm not in Jinden DMs. I'm not, I'm not helping, but it definitely feels like Fizz is definitely pulling some shenanigans here, and it might need to be stopped.
Oh, it's just tough, you know. Strong draws, you know. It's a high variance deck, and Y Rebellion has gotten some incredible draws. And not to say that they haven't played the deck very well as well, but God bless, getting Fizz, Yumi, and Bone Club, like all just things are just turning up right.
Yeah. You know, kudos to Samsons. They did manage to get a win with the Nyla Ezreal deck, with the 3 temples, which is kind of hard when there's just so much land removal these days with all the explorers and stuff. So definitely, you know, credit where credit is due. Did get the win with that deck, but again, the Sivir faltered a little bit, and yeah, we see a White Rebellion 2-0.
I really do wonder with those hands, although with all the removal, if we would have had Jinx there, if we could have the refill and the rockets to pressure life a little bit more. But, you know, it could have changed the texture of the game entirely. You know, maybe had an awkward hand and then that Rite of Negation just sitting there that we can't get rid of. Who knows? But a great series.
Yep. Also, you know, set the tone a little bit. 2-0 for Dragons. You know, but we also had the 2-0 last week. No,
You got the reverse sweep.
Yeah, at the brink of defeat. Last week, Talpinator stepped up, went 3-0. This week, it's up to Jinden. You know, the EU homies definitely have that X factor that can just, you know, switch it like that, 3-0, go to bed after that. So
Yeah.
I'm still a believer. I believe that we're gonna see more than just a clean sweep from Y Rebellion.
I believe it's like 3 a.m. wherever they are.
It's also 3 a.m. for me, and just because of that, we're gonna take a short break. Maybe the players can get a quick power nap of like 4 minutes. I know I will. So off to break we go.
Dark cloud, you're the storm in the rain. Intoxicated sun, if the sunshine let me know. All my thoughts move in the darkness of pouring down, of stone, my soul is. Should I pretend like we're just dancing in the sunlight? I'm done waiting, and every day until I realize you're the rain on my happy days. Dark cloud, you're the storm in the rain. Stepping away, stepping away, stepping away from this fight. Hidden away, hidden away, hidden away with your light. Killing me happy, thought that was a sign. Killing me hope that I had in my life. I'm sick 'cause you're wasting my time inside my. Should I pretend like we're just dancing in the sunlight? I'm done waiting, and every day until I realize you're the rain on my happy days. Dark cloud, you're the storm in the rain. If there's blood in the water, the sharks will know. My happy at died, so the place I roam. Hoping the stream will wash out the history, history. I found my happy place. Oh, my happy place. I found my happy place. Oh, my happy place. You're the rain on my happy days. Dark cloud, you're the storm in the rain.
Wanna join me? Come and play, but I might shoot you in your face. Bombs and bullets will do the trick. What do we need here?
Oh, we're back, guys. Power nap. 4 minutes. You know, it's enough. It's enough. 4 minutes is plenty of time. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. 4 minutes. Whole world can change in 4 minutes. But I digress. What did we see, Schwartz? We saw White Rebellion getting another 2-1. Now, I'm going to refer to your memory, which is obviously apparently way better than mine. So, what did we see game 1, game 2, and game 3? The whole shabazam. All you.
So game 1, we saw Nyla, Ezreal try and take down Fizumi, and what happened? They Fizumi'd all over them.
They
didn't quite get there. Second game, we saw an uncontested Temple just take over the game. Too much value. Just kind of too many cards, too many discounts, and just and a leveled Ezreal threatening to just burn it all to the ground. In third game, we saw Echo Sivir try and get it done, and unfortunately, Sivir couldn't get there. We did see a really awkward hand from Y Rebellion, but drew Lee Sin at just the right time to remove that Sivir.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see the Camel Cloaker drop order, which was really disappointing, but
We didn't see the Camel Cloaker. We did see Sivir not doing Jinx stuff. Like, you did mention you would rather have a Jinx here. Who would blame you? Arcane is just around the corner, so everybody prefers Jinx at this point. So can't blame you there. But
flavor of the month.
This is do or die for the Maokai Saplings. Listen, Dragons have so much room to make mistakes. Now, they hope they can finish this up. Y Rebellion just trios, Goofy and Void chill all day. And on the other side, Jinden has his work cut out for him immensely. Like, this is a mountain to climb, a marathon to run, I could say, And let's see first, let's review again Y Rebellion's decks. Now, we did see them twice so far. Twice we saw the same band, from what I remember. But let's just quickly run over the decks again. Just to remind, what do we have here? Who's the main boss of this best of 3 so far? Who's the guy to beat? And deck 1, Victory. You mentioned Holistic Bots can go aggressive. We also saw on the third match of the last best of 3, we saw a lot of control tools, Aftershock, then Draw, Listen, and the game. Simple, it can play both worlds of... It has both sides of the coin, basically. It can do aggressive stuff, it can do control stuff. Move on to the next deck. We have the good old... forgot to use the power within. There we go. Fizz Yumi, as you said. You can do stuff to Fizz Yumi, right? You can have the answers, but Fizz Yumi sometimes just fizzes. You cannot stop Fizz from fizzing. That's it. No more things need to be said. Fizz is fizzing. And let me just use the force one more time to switch to the last deck. Go. No. Last deck. Oh my god, I need to... Wait, hold on. I'm powering up. Alright, let's try again. And push to the third deck. There we go, it worked perfectly. The timing of that was impeccable. Third deck. Ban all the fucking time. I don't think people want to see Ionia ramp. And honestly, can you blame them? It's Ionia ramp. You're gonna ramp, and then you're gonna be annoying as fuck. Sorry for the swear words there. Just Ionia makes you say those kind of words. And that lineup is combo. It's comboing. It's comboing pretty damn nicely so far. And I'm not sure if Maokai Saplings can stop the comboing. But that's not for me to decide if they can stop or not. That comes down to the one and only, the last hope of Maokai Saplings, Jinden. And let's see what Jinden decided to bring in this do or die match. Deck 1, we saw it in the lineup of Robomaster, who was the first player for Maokai Saplings, Anivia, Mordekaiser. Schwartz, how did you like this in the first best of 3 we saw? And can it actually do something?
I think that the deck is capable of doing things. It seems like it'd be very strong into some of those other kind of ramp combo decks. Problem is, on one side, you have Ionia, who can deny your Ruination or Harrowing, and then you have Fizz, who you have no answers for. I really, with this deck, I think that unless you have a way that in the game plan that I'm not seeing to deal with that Fizz, or if you are just hoping they don't draw it, I think this deck calls for a ban on the Fizz.
I'm seeing your train of thought there, but also ramp Ionia is also kind of something you don't want to face. But We'll
It's
talk
all
about that
bad.
when we get to that. Let's move up to the next deck of Jindan that we have here. I'm looking at some really, really annoying region combination. What's more annoying than Ionia, and the Bold Guy Rise? Now, Schwartz, this is a combo. I feel like it's a combo, but you don't strike me as a guy that would play this specific combo.
I've never risen to the occasion to play this deck.
Mm, mm.
That's as good of a rise pun as you're going to get out of me, and I hope it got a rise out of you.
All right. All right, but now you need to rise to this occasion and tell me what is this deck trying to do?
It really is just no, you can't do that while I gather the runestone. Well, I gather my rocks, and then you die to an animation. It's very much I'm going to stop whatever you're doing long enough for me to, I guess sort of combo kill you again. Just gathering Exodia.
Well, Schwartz, you say kill us with, movie basically. It's gonna kill us with that nicely cinematic. But I feel like even though people hate on it, now when we don't really get new cinematics, I think people will start to like this Rise cinematic. It will definitely rise into popularity so much since we aren't getting new animations. You see what they did there, by the way?
Not the 12-minute Shurima movie.
Schwartz, you see what I did there with Rise?
I didn't see it. I did hear it though.
Yeah. All right. Typical Rise. It's gonna stall. It's gonna stone you to death. Let's move up to the third deck. Now, it's also Demacia Ramp. Now, we did see Demacia Ramp on the side of Robomaster, but Robomaster decided to go for Morgana Trundle. And instead of that, Jindan decided to go for Braum Trundle Sejuani Volibear Ramp with Big Daddy Tough and Citria Lady of Clouds. How are we liking this in comparison to the other Demacia Ramp deck, which had Morgana Trundle instead of this champion combination?
I will say that I think I like the inclusion of Harsh Winds versus the having 9 strike spells, I believe, in the other list. Between Gentleman's Duel, Single Combat, and Concerted Strike. I like having that as an option for those wider turns, or if you're not able to get a unit down to utilize those strike spells. I think that the champion selection is goofy as hell, but I can see like where you have more large overwhelm threats versus trying to slow down the opponent's game plan.
Yeah, and also, Lord Eldritch, Big Daddy Tough is there. Giving Tough to your Nexus can do stuff, Now,
it can be.
It's mostly good if your opponent has low damage units, so you get like the full value of it. But it's not bad even into stuff like this, right? Yeah, and okay, we said enough. We like it. Let's move up to the full picture. The picture I love the most. We are looking at decks. Now, Schwartz, you're gonna do this really quick. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You want to see the Fizz ban. What's on the other side?
Banning the Ionia ramp.
Ooh. Wait, you mean Ionia Rise?
So if I would say Ionia Rise, or if you were saying ban something other than Fizumi, I'm banning the ramp.
No, I mean from the side of Y Rebellion. What is he taking off?
I'm banning Rise.
Okay, so you just want to see this cringy little decks out of your sight.
Yes, the middle deck must go.
Now, Schwartz, I'm not calling you out, but you did mess up most of the bans so far, But let's see if you got this one correctly. Now, if our really well-respected and well-loved producer Hirsch can show us the band and see if Schwartz actually hit anything right. Drum roll in the background, please. Let's go.
Ace, I would just like to make it clear that Maokai Saplings didn't make my bands, and they're down 0-2.
So you're saying if you get it correctly, they will. Oh, look at that. Look at that, Schwartz. Face is still on the table.
I hope that I'm wrong.
Now, I will give you credit. You did say if it's not Fizz, it's definitely the Ionia ramp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's count it as half correct, even though you picked like 2 of 3 possible decks to get banned. So it was hard to get wrong. And remind me again, what was your pick on the other side?
Rise.
So just remove Ionia. You just don't want to see Ionia.
Yes.
That's the thing. Well,
let's go.
Okay.
1.5 picks for your boy.
1.5 out of 2. That's pretty damn good. I feel like Schwartz, if we like do this for like 3-4 more series, you're gonna get all of them correctly.
Perfect.
Yeah. So if we have another series, you're gonna get like 1 or 2 correct. Then the next series, if we go to Silver Scrapes, if it's 2-2 and down to that match, I feel like you're gonna hit those bands for sure perfectly. But Jinden has to take us there, right? And
Right.
if you were Y Rebellion side here, would you go for the Fizz, or do you go for the Lee Sin here to start off the first game?
I think that you go for the Fizz, hoping that you can hit that Anivia matchup early, and just giving yourself an extra chance to high roll.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Jinden is a little bit in a pickle, because this is 2 decks left up that Y Rebellion has already beat today. Y Rebellion decided to ban the only deck that was different from Robomaster's side. So this is basically just, we're back at round 1. Right? We're back at Lee Sin, Victor, Fizz Yumi. Now, of course, the ramp Demacia is not completely the same. Fair point. But it's still ramp Demacia and Anivia Mordekaiser. Now, is there a mental edge on Y Rebellion side here, Schwartz?
I would actually say that there's a mental edge on Jinden's side. Y Rebellion just played 2 tough series, and even if they're locked in, there's going to be some of that mental load of just having to make those tough decisions over and over and over again. Jinden's coming in fresh.
Coming in fresh.
But coming in fresh.
Yeah. Whole world on his shoulders. Just like mine that don't fit in the card that we have. Just let's see if his are just as big, Can he carry the whole weight of the team? A little bit of glazing myself. Can't hurt.
Yeah.
Can't hurt. If I don't, who will, right, Schwartz?
I don't have an answer for that, Ace, so I simply have to agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, agreeing with me is always the correct thing to do, Schwartz. That's like, go-to answer there. All right.
I mean,
so
in
we
the
discussed.
pre-show notes.
Yeah. Okay. We discussed what you want to see from Y Rebellion side on the start here. Jinden side, are we gonna go for birds, or are we gonna go for this Demacia with Daddy Tough in the deck?
I think birds is the weaker deck. I would want to play. You have to get a win on the birds, so I think you might lead with it.
No, that is like a common question in this kind of best of 3 scenarios, right? Do you go for the weaker deck first, or with the stronger deck?
So it depends on what the matchup spread. What I believe the matchup spread is. If I think that I've got, like 2 mediocre matchups with one deck that are functionally equivalent, and I've got 2 very swingy matchups with the other, I'm going to take the swingy deck first, because it doesn't matter if I get the matchup that I'm more favored in. Maybe I can get that win, get it knocked out, and then I have 2 chances with mediocre matchups with the second deck.
I love the word mediocre, describes me perfectly, but let's focus on this game right here. Sports. Again, opening hand, really important. We see Yadulski, we see the Bird, and we see Fizz, and Elusive, and all the good stuff. Now, we don't have buffs, but
Dog is good.
regardless. And on the other side, we have somewhat of a slower hand, but really important. This Jinden runs freezes and already has them in hand. Now, Short, I would ask you which hand you prefer right here, but it's kind of easy call, no?
I think I want to be, I think I want to be Y Rebellion here. That's,
Yeah, I wish I could be Y Rebellion. 2-0, such great players.
and the
On your way to 3-0.
freeze, it's taken out of the hand.
Yeah, that hurts even more because there's not a lot of removal on Jinden, so. Oh, and the Fizz just jams it. Yeah, this is just bandalagging. This is not even Fizz combo stuff. This is just go wide.
I mean, and the units coming down for Y Rebellion next in the hand are just going to be enormous if he draws any. And
yeah, and on the other side, the Y Rebellion can just keep playing units.
So I mean, set with 7, 9, it could just be lethal next turn. Playing out the if Y Rebellion plays out the Explorer here and commits both buff spells, that's just game.
Well, it will, present lethal. Now, Jinden does have 3 Harsh Twins, He decided to go a little bit more on the freezes, unlike his teammates. So definitely has freezes, which can top deck here. So it's not guaranteed lethal if Y Rebellion decides to go for it, but I feel like it's definitely the correct choice to just jam everything. Also, Jinden doesn't have any playable stuff this turn.
No, it's
wow.
Just absolute,
Yeah,
in that game.
Jinden just doesn't play the game.
Yeah.
That's 10 mana, and none of your cards are playable.
Really, one of the problems with ramp with some of these ramp decks. I mean, having
who just surrenders? Quickly, let's take a note that on the other side of the bracket, let's not forget them. We have Azir's Ascended play against Draven's Biggest Fan. We saw Draven's Biggest Fan last week. Of course, we mentioned a couple of times, Telpinator's great comeback. On that side, it's 1-1. So there, we have a series. In the meanwhile, here, Y Rebellion looks to be sweeping, kind of.
Yeah, and it's so tough like that. I mean, giving Fizz Yumi time to do things.
Well, if it was tough, maybe we would have saved some HP, right? But Daddy Tough didn't come down, so there was no tough on the Nexus. So instead, Y Rebellion just smoked them down. And all right, make or break. Jinden is not allowed to lose any more games. Hopefully, in ideal world, his world, he would go 6-0 from here and just steamroll. But Y Rebellion definitely has something to say with it. And now in this matchup, I feel like Y Rebellion definitely needs what we saw a few games ago, where there were ballistic bots cooking early when there is Victor down, when you just get those just get those units rolling super early and not just wait for the ramps. And looking at opening hands, we only saw Victor on the other side, and on Jinden's side we have ramp and champions.
Oh, never.
I spoke too soon. All right, Schwartz, looking at hands, they're both looking solid. Who do we prefer here?
I think I actually prefer the position that Jinden is in here. I mean, unless Victor is able to come down with some really strong keywords, I think that they may just run out of gas. Although having the sleep in hand to deal with the strike spell is huge. So it's I think we've got a very good game ahead of us.
Yeah, it's definitely not decided yet, unlike last game where Jinna just had no units to play. Instead, he has very good ramp spells and a trundle to capitalize on the ramp. Now on the other side, we see Victor. All right, first keyword Schwartz, hit us. What is it?
It's gonna be brash.
It's it's regeneration again. You're wrong. Challenger.
Challenger.
All right, Challenger. Not bad. Not bad. If you can also roll maybe attack speed next turn, then we're just chilling, Now, we probably try to trade here. I like thinning out the board, but I also don't like damaging our Victor, so it's kind of like double-edged sword. Let's see if Why Rebellion is going to go for it at all this turn.
I think that this sleep in hand is going to be important.
Now, there's also double court shirts. No, what was the thing called?
Oh, talking about Aftershock.
Aftershock. This court shirt was also destroying landmark, right?
I could definitely see a play here for sleep and Aftershock.
Sleep Aftershock is also good. You can also use double Aftershock maybe. Now that does get countered by stuff like Trojan. But maybe White Rebellion will just keep those hands back. We have stuff to do on White Rebellion sides. Okay, Schwartz, second keyword. What is it?
Elusive.
Ooh. I'm just going to keep saying regeneration until we get it.
It has to be something less useful. I'm going back to Impact.
Going back to Impact? I'm sticking with regeneration. I feel like we're going to see regeneration.
Ace, if you say the same thing over and over again enough, you'll eventually be right. Unless you're saying to ban Fizz Yumi, in which case you'll always be wrong.
Well, you know what they say, Schwartz. Even a broken clock is correct twice a day. So you're completely right. If I just keep saying the thing, it will eventually happen. But I feel like it's going to happen this turn. I feel like it's right now. Regeneration of this pool. One time for the one time. It's going to happen as soon as they press resolve. As soon as they put it in the stack.
Are they going to go? Is Jinden considering the strike spell here?
Ooh. Now, we do know that there is punish on White Rebellion side with the sleep of the thing. So, decides to go for no. And boost. Spirit? It's called Spirit and it gets boosted, right?
I mean, the fact that we don't know this, I think, means that we're both boosted.
It means that we aren't boosted, right? That's what it goes. But we were correct regardless, Schwartz. It's Spirit and it does get boosted. Now, me and you, definitely not boosted. We are at the rank we deserve to be. Now, me, I think I'm silver, so I'm up there.
Yep. Just tearing up that ranked ladder.
Oh, hell yeah. Playing like one game a day, chilling. Absolutely chilling.
Just playing all the DGen.
All right, Schwartz. This ballistic bot and Victor have been cooking for a while. That's a 6-3 and a 7-5.
That is a big boy.
All right, Schwartz. Do I have to say it again, or are you just going to name a keyword? No.
Quick attack.
It's going to be a regeneration, Schwartz. How do you keep messing it up?
You're right. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah.
We do have Why Rebellion does have the Victor level up available with the Ignition and Hex Core upgrade.
Yeah. Oh, let's see it. Again, option to strike here. Not available anymore because the Victor is 5.
Oh,
and do the quick attack. Schwartz. But how does he do it? Chat, how does Schwartz know this? Does he have the script?
I think it, yeah, of course, it's all scripted.
But they didn't give the script to me. Apparently, only to you.
Well, one of us has to appear spontaneous, Ace.
Right.
I think that we should see the pillar play here from Jinden. And I
Now,
guess,
quick attack challenger, insane combo. But we do have quite a few ways to deal with this. We have freeze, we have strike spell, and we have troll chant. So definitely ways for Jinden. I feel like I did say it's very similar decks, but I feel like Jinden went completely different direction opposed to Robomaster in terms of interaction. Like we saw Robomaster more strike spells and stuff like that. But Jinden, good old freeze, and nothing beats a good old freeze.
the only problem I'm seeing with this deck right now is just the fact that there is no. Yes, Jinden is ramped, but what are we doing? You know, there's no win con in hand. I mean, Trundle can swing for a decent amount of damage, but he's one, ballistic block away from death, and then him doing nothing.
One ballistic block away from death. I like that. Now, my Rebellion side does have a lot of stuff in hand, a lot of deal damages in hand. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 aftershocks.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of aftershocks. And we see one committed immediately. Now let's see if Jinden decides to save it, decides to know. I feel like we're going to see the pillar now. It's due time. Yep. Pillar down, refills mana, and now Trundle is a 5/7, right? 5/7, yep. Still cannot kill the Victor with strikes or with freezes here. And let's see why Rebellion decides to push damage or kill the pillar. Because pushing damage here is also very tempting. But now it might not pull a Harsh Winds out. It pulls the Harsh Winds out anyways. And nice little freeze. The pillar doesn't get damage. Victor doesn't do any damage to Trundle. And that's about it. Oh, we're going to see the sleep?
I think I would have liked to have seen the sleep on.
Oh, the sleep on our own Victor. Ooh. I
don't know about.
I don't like this. I'm going to be honest, Schwartz. I don't like this. That's our main piece of interaction.
I don't know what we're gaining.
Well, our Victor doesn't get damaged, you know.
The Victor will come back with no attack, right? It's an exact copy.
That technically does protect Victor from the pillar, because now the pillar targets the ballistic bot.
Oh, but it's this turn, so he'll get his. Oh, he's still
Yeah.
And has. I would have really liked to have just held on to that and sleep. Use the sleep on Trundle or.
Yeah, it makes sense. I like that idea as well. Now, we did already go for this idea, and this idea does provide that, I guess, somewhat of a protection for Victor, because now he is not. Oh, he still is.
He's still.
Yeah, because of the last turn, right? He kept vulnerable from last turn. So, yeah, it definitely does not look like the best of play now.
Jinden has to swing here.
Now, he also has Deadly Tough. Deadly Tough is there, and Deadly Tough makes all of White Rebellion damage spells basically useless. You're using 3 mana Mystic Shots. 3 mana slow speed Mystic Shots. It's terrible. Terrible. And we go for it. Deadly Tough. Look at that. Look at that guy. Look at the Schwartz. Look at all this tough units. It makes it really tough for Rebellion to do anything. So tough.
Okay, digging.
But Blizzard would do it.
I'm trying to find maybe try to find. Oh, and there's another sleep to save the victim.
Another sleep. Yeah. And also, whoever pulls the bot does just die. So there's that. Oh, of course. Look at that. Look at the keyboard on Victor. It's regen, baby. It's regen. It happened. Alright,
I think you do
now the pulse
you
here.
have to. I think you have to kill the bot. Like you have to trade off the unit. Unfortunately,
Now, the bad thing is the sleep spell doesn't leave us with enough mana to also destroy the landmark. So it's not the best of plays that we can do, It's not the most value. So
but without the
however,
victor,
they might not even go for it.
I don't know if you have a win con anymore.
Yeah, that's also kind of fair. Like the hand is really very unit focused, very damage focused removal, and we have tough.
And there's been enough stacked up. Oh, and going for the troll chant to save the unit. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this was looking pretty bleak up until that sleep play. Like I think that really like that's where some of that mental fatigue just
Yeah, maybe he needs to sleep. Oh my god, the longer we do this, the worse the pawns are gonna get, not gonna lie.
Now
But
don't get
Victor's still alive.
Now I think with this spell here, might have to pre-commit the freeze.
Listen.
Listen.
Now we do have the free spell. Insanely strong here. But Listen still recalls. So I'm not saying UI Rebellion is
there is the strike spell in hand.
Yeah, but we have deny, and we still have ways to give our Listen Challenger with the hex score, right? So I'm not saying that White Rebellion is in a commanding spot right now, but I definitely feel like he is doing stuff that's helping him win. And on the other side, we just got second pillar for free because White Rebellion was that generous towards Jindan.
Spell shield here would be really tough, and it's fearsome.
Fearsome. Not the best. Not the best.
If you're White Rebellion here, what are you pulling?
I feel like Daddy Tough, probably.
Yeah, just kicking tough.
Probably also pulling the Trundle as well. Now it's really playing into that second Harsh Winds, but then again, it's a second Harsh Wind, so let's see if you even play into that, because it's kind of weird. You already saw one, and actually plays around it kind of here, because goes for the safe pulls, and even if, well, now Jindan doesn't have to commit the Harsh Winds, he can just take 3 damage and then just replay Eldritch. It's Lord Eldred.
Yeah, I think just taking the 3 here is
just taking it, replaying it. Ooh.
Yeah, like seems fine.
Now, yeah, we just replay the data. We are at the end.
We'll gain 3 tech.
Now,
another sleep in hand. Just those are just coming in clutch.
The sleeps are hitting hard here.
Yeah, I think that's just going to.
Now,
what I could.
I'm thinking, can we use X-Tech Transmogulator somehow here? What if we get our own Daddy Tough from White Rebellion side?
Interesting. Heavy emphasis on int.
I don't know, man. You get such a good unit on the board, and you basically make it a game of attrition, where you see who can end up faster, because you will have the Lee Sin on the board. And if you put your unit in front of the 7-3, you also get a free trade because you'll turn it into an 8-8, right? Now,
Oh,
Rebellion doesn't go for it. Play safe. Oh, there's the Boros.
Okay.
Man, I kind of like that. I kind of like that play so much, though. Now, also, just playing a second victory is probably just better. But imagine the fun that we could have had, Schwartz. Are you imagining the fun that we just missed?
Yeah. I think that we're gonna see a harsh win, like forcing
Okay.
the deny
And again, deny or
sleep.
again? It's a deny. All right, nice little bit of deny here. Saying no is always a legit answer. Does think it through. Yep, there we go. Now, I did mention transmogulator. Are we supposed to talk about Poggers Day as well here as an option?
I think it's two. Let's see. I'm gonna have 11 mana. That'd be 9. I think it's an
Ooh, Troll
option,
Chant.
but what I like is potentially using sleep plus aftershock to remove the trundle. That's kind of the primary threat currently.
Yeah, Trundle do be really important here because that is basically the only way to win here. You also have you can just win on the board, but with this Lee Sin, just keep removing your units.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Jinden is just forcing Why Rebellion is forcing Jinden to just replay this Eldritch, this Daddy Tough every turn. So
Mm-hmm.
once he can remove the Trundle, it's gonna come down really to the board. And I really feel like this Transmogulator is just gonna come in insanely clutch if Wire Rebellion just goes for it. I really want to see it forth. I even think it's a correct play. How much mana is it? It's 6, right? So you're gonna have to use 7 mana. Now this is very expensive play. But we'll see. That's like the third pillar we've played from one Trundle, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Right.
they
Poggers Day. Poggers Day. No, it's Poggers Day. But it's okay. I would take Poggers Day here, no problem. Ooh, second victor. Yeah, we still have the sleep, so we're not just dead in the open from this big trundle, you know. So I don't hate this play.
I mean,
Now we can also play the ballistic bot, or we can also just press pass here.
Yeah, we'll have there will be the Dragonling. It'll be interesting. Could play Avalanche to remove the Dragonling and try and thin out the board, although...
Yeah, also buffs your units, because that is tough. Ooh, Jury gets discarded. It probably wouldn't do too much, but it is a burst blocker.
Just taking the open swing.
Now we do have a second victor in hand, so we are not even scared about this victor. That, by the way, also has regeneration, Schwartz. Just putting it out there.
Oh, yeah. What would you say about broken clocks and blind squirrels?
Yeah, twice a day. Correct, twice a day. So by that logic, the third one, there is no way.
Sen playing out.
Sleep. We can get spell barrier as well, so we can get a trade there too. Probably gonna see commits. Ooh. No, you're gonna have to. Okay, decides to block the 3/3, which is interesting, not the 7/3. Oh, because first spell was Challenger, right? So he doesn't want to commit the second spell for no reason. Makes sense. Rebellion is doing good. And then tough takes down the second victor.
Basically, with triple aftershock in hand, even if
the boulder,
the Bodier, it doesn't.
Oh my god, triple aftershock. That does mean we're not gonna see Transmogulator though. So okay, but hear me out. With Transmogulator on the attack to get the Overwhelm unit, to get a 7/3 Overwhelm and get lethal like that.
That is spicy.
There's actually no way to remove it because you flash freeze. I mean, you harsh winds, but your harsh winds is burst. and the Transmogulator hits after the burst spell. It's actually Transmogulator. It's an insane way to win here. I really hope Wire Rebellion goes for
You get freeze
Transmogulator
your
on
own
the
unit.
stack.
Or
No, you cannot freeze. It says enemies.
enemy units.
Yep, Harsh Winds is Frostbite 2 enemies. Yep.
That is, I mean, interesting. I mean, and if Fire Rebellion removes stuff first, that's for 1 damage.
All right. So I want to see more swings. I mean, more unit swing. I want to see the Dragoling swing. Oh, if we see the 7-3 onto it, it's going to be insane. Oh, please block with the 7-3.
I think it's going to be the.
Block with the 8-8. Now the Transmogulator makes no sense, sadly. Listen does present lethal. Now we have a lot of ways to stop this, so.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, just double.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't like going that.
Okay, now we can Transmogulator and kill the Braum. If we Transmogulator, that is tough on our Dragoling.
I mean, I like it. It's spicy.
Damn, didn't go for it. Wait, is he trying to go for lethal? Or is she just trying to heal more? No, he's actually trying to push more damage.
Looking
2 away.
The kill with the Mystic shots.
Well, yeah, but if they just replay,
or maybe
that it does,
just, using mana efficiently, trying to.
Oh, there's the freeze. Okay, now we see it. Now we're gonna see it, right? Alright, hit them with the Transmogulator. Why million? Come on.
They just don't. You've got to understand.
They just don't see it.
They don't see.
They just don't see it. I don't think they even know what the card is because nobody ever plays it. Now, probably Pogger's Day is insane, but they have to aftershock that 8-8 anyways this turn. So they're actually not even using full of their mana unless they go for more removal here.
Yeah, I think that.
Fury.
I think you have to remove the landmark. Like you've got the aftershock in hand. Like,
all right, decides to go for this. Still leaves him the option to do that thing as well, which I probably should do here, right? It's just gonna be annoying. Yep, there we go. And now I guess we're gonna use another Pogger's Day.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate having not being able to get the full value out of the boat here. Having the extra landmark here would have made the mana questions a lot more awkward for Y Rebellion.
Ooh, we did stairs.
Oh,
there's Mystic.
Yeah, I think you just slam it.
Dealing 3 to all units.
Pretty good.
That's pretty decent. Okay, now you. Just Pogger's Day. Man. Oh, Victory is level, so Pogger's Day is 7 mana into the bait. Alright, refill, second Lee-Sin, and a recall. That's great. That's such good pools.
Yeah, and Lee-Sin just lives now.
Yeah. I mean, the Victor also has Deathless, by the way. They pulled Deathless on the Victor, so they can't even kill it this turn. Okay, I guess now they can kill it. But now it won't have what's the thing called? Vulnerable. It won't have vulnerable. So
but we'll have
Braum can pull it, right? Braum. Oh my god, imagine they have a level Braum in this deck. Holy
God. I'm actually interested in killing the Lee-Sin if possible. Although
I like this. You played this because now the Braum trades into both of the units that he just.
Wait, they're just are they just dead?
No, they have Mystic, right? Because they can just Mystic the 8-2.
Right. Yeah. So but if they Mystic the.
And also they have recall, right? So it's still there.
Right. But now they have to choose.
I mean, it's 1 mana, right? If there was maybe 2 mana, so you could have, think about it. But if you recall it, Eureka, you're gonna get two trolls cooking, so it's definitely Mystic. Oh, I guess, yeah. I guess if you recall it, right, you have Mystic for the face.
Mhm.
So it's not the worst. But the Braum gets traded, and we have a second Lee Sin in hand,
Yeah, having the
and we
same.
push the 1 damage. And I believe we cannot play this hex core because it's not from this Victor.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just on to the next turn. Oh, C3. Turn too late, I feel like.
Yeah. Is this lethal? Yeah,
Yeah, this is definitely lethal.
Can
Yeah.
play Catalyst to live.
Yeah. Yep. Still alive.
Don't have enough
Still
mana
kicking.
because then you get hit by the Victor.
Oh, right. Because if you play any unit, oh my god.
That's just game. So why Rebellion just takes it all down?
Wow. Why Rebellion just 3-0'd. Damn. I'm left speechless.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. All right.
Good decks.
What did we saw, Schwartz? What did we saw game 1? What did we see game 2? How did White Rebellion pull this last game?
Fizz did Fizz things.
Didn't get banned.
Go wide should have been banned. And then second game just saw like a handful of ramp and no win cons until it was too late. We're being pressured over and over again, just having Lee Sin bouncing our big 8 mana units to our hand, denying any of the value from Tough on the Nexus and on our other units. Honestly, like seeing the Braum there, like do we wish that it was a different unit, or did Braum save us enough health to give us a chance to draw other cards? But I guess it's a tough call. I think the biggest issue is just that there's not a lot of draw in the deck, and ended up just kind of with nothing to do.
Yeah. Jindan actually did remove a lot of those Lee Sins, a lot of those Victors, but Why Rebellion just drew more than Jindan can remove, basically, right? We saw, a couple of Lee Sins. I think we saw 3 Victors that game. And I think we saw 2 Poggers day. Like, when have you had 2 Progress days in one game? That was such an insane series all around. And it was a 2-0. We didn't even see a game 3. And it was that intense. And
Why Rebellion
just insane.
Just said, I'm done.
Yeah, Why Rebellion? Yeah. And I believe that this was one of the fastest games we've seen, I mean, fastest series overall, right? Where one player just steamrolls the whole team, basically. Now, okay, maybe steamroll is too, maybe disrespectful on the Maokai Saplings team. They did have some very close games, very back and forth. We saw game 3s twice. Even this game 2 came down to like some small decisions in the end. So competition was definitely there. But Lee Sin's Dragon just pulled. I don't even think people can say it's an upset. They just beat Victor's Glorious Evolution last week, and then just 3-0 Maokai Saplings this week. I don't even think you can say it's an upset when they're just equally cracked, at the game.
And just hitting their stride. You got to get hot right before playoffs. Looking for that championship win now.
Yep. And on the other side of the bracket, we do have an update that Azir's Ascendant take the lead of 2-1 against Draven's Biggest Fan. So Draven's Biggest Fan are down to their last player. Now, I did get info from backstage that the last player on Draven's biggest fan is yet again Talpinator on that side. So if the man can pull two comebacks like that, I don't know what to say. He's just the guy, He's just him. Timothy. It's him. Talpinator. Yeah. And I believe we are ready. We got the one, the only, the impeccable goat of the day, Y Rebellion. Y Rebellion, welcome.
Hello.
How are we feeling? This was, I can't say it was fast, but it wasn't that long as well. How are we feeling? What's first thoughts here?
Feeling good. I mean, it always feels good to to make it through, and also 3-0ing feels nice.
Yeah. So, what I'm interested in the prep kind of aspect of the thing. Now, people don't play the game as much as they do. Big whoop. How do you guys prepare for the thing? Is it just taking the old prep and just working on it, or just completely new, take the meta from scratch? How do you approach the lineup building this season overall, not just in this match?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think that we come in with a lot of experience with some of the decks that exist already. And like some of the decks that I'm playing, I'm very familiar with from past seasons. Like I played a ton of Victor Lee Sin, probably my favorite deck of all time. So I've got tons of reps there, and then similar things with ramp spells, ramp Ionia, ramp Shadow Isles. So there's a lot of pre-existing experience that we can draw on, but yeah, then in terms of like kind of putting those together, it's more what goes well into the current meta and what we're going to expect.
Now, also for this matchup specifically, you guys picked yourself first. Was that because your lineup was overall the strongest, or did you feel like your lineup would have countered some of what Maokai Saplings would have brought? Or was just your lineup the best of the team and you just go in first and take as many players as you can?
So at least for this week, once we saw their decks, we felt quite confident about sending me out first. My lineup was kind of designed to be able to beat both Mordekaiser and Ramp, and then they brought two players with both Mordekaiser and Ramp in the same lineup. So really, I felt very confident into both of those lineups. So Samsan's lineup was the only one where it was like, maybe I might struggle a little bit here. So we felt pretty confident sending me out first. And then once I got through the second match there, I was feeling pretty confident that I would be in a good spot to 3-0.
Now, another question about the bans. Now, my man Schwartz right here, he was really big advocate on opponent banning your Fizz list. Do you think that, and I believe your Ramp Ionia deck, the Mina Swiftfoot, was banned all 3 times. We didn't even get to see it, which makes me pretty sad. Do you feel like that was correct decision from your opponents? Or do you feel like my man Schwartz here is just smarter than all 3 of them and they should have banned Fizz at least one of those best of 3s?
I would say, I think Fizz was a reasonable ban. I think we were thinking either they ban Fizz or they ban the Ionia Ramp. Because the Ionia Ramp beats up on Mordekaiser really hard, as well as, in our opinion, winning all of the Ramp mirrors into basically any other region combo. So the Fizz decks were also quite strong in those spots. So I think they probably made the right choice with banning the Volibear Ionia deck, but I think there's an argument that you could ban Fizz as well.
Yeah. Once, if it doesn't work twice, I guess you could make the argument to just change the ban. But sending it over to you, Schwartz, what question you got for our fabulous guest today?
So I did have a question about one of the plays in the last game, and just seeing if this is because what we viewed as maybe a mistake, but always good to hear kind of your opinion on things. When you chose to sleep your own Victor leading into their attack token turn, what was the thought process there?
So that was a misplay. My thought process was that I didn't want to give them another pillar by sleeping the Trundle, and I was thinking like, oh, the attack probably doesn't matter on my next turn, the fact that it's frozen, right, because it's not going into my attack token. But I forgot that it would keep the vulnerable that it got on the previous turn. So yeah, that was just a mistake.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we definitely saw a couple of scenarios there where you had the sleep, but didn't have enough mana to pair it with the landmark destruction. So some of the plays were, a little bit wonky, but I have a really specific question here. Now, Tellstones,
Okay.
it does have Transmogulator in it. Did it ever occur you into the game that maybe, it's in the realm of possibilities to cheese with it? Maybe get the Daddy Tough, the Eldrin on your side, something like that. Was it on the realm in possibilities, or were you sure that just keeping it for Progress Day just makes it insane value there?
I definitely thought about it a little bit. In terms of transforming my own things, I felt pretty confident based on when my opponent attacked with the Trundle. I felt pretty confident that they had a lot of interaction in hand because I could see everything on board that was proccing the Trundle. So in my head, I'm thinking that they have just like a lot of freezes, a lot of strikes. So I didn't feel like I could transform into any of my own units. And then in terms of transforming my opponent's units, I just felt like drawing and looking for like another sleep or a recall or a stun would just be better, while also just drawing me to more things and more ways to interact if they start trying to kill my champions.
Yeah, makes sense. I just wanted to see the cheese play, man. It would have been so funny to just use Transmogulator there, Do it
Yeah,
for the
for sure.
fans, it's for the watch.
It's always fun to transmogulate like a clockling, a 2/2 clockling into an 11/3 ballistic bot, and it's like, oh, you're dead, sorry.
I was even thinking like, you steal the overwhelm unit and this and that. All right, but looking at the week before, you guys managed to snag a really close win against the Victor's Glorious Evolution, and then this week it was just like a clean 3-0. So what should we expect in the finals?
I mean, I expect it's going to be a close finals probably. Both the teams on the other side of the bracket are very strong. I think that we got fortunate that my lineup lined up really well into everything that our opponents brought today. And I think both of the other teams are definitely very good. So if we don't end up with a specific line of advantage like that, I expect it to be a good series.
All right. I have another question, and then I'll let Schwartz ask if he has anything else. Now, when I usually play this kind of things, I'm more stressed when I'm watching my teammates play than when I'm playing. Honestly, if I'm just playing, even if it's game 5, game 1, doesn't matter, it's okay, I feel. But when I'm watching my teammate play, I feel like I'm so stressed and just overthinking everything. So how is it for you? Do you feel like it's more stress to play the actual game, or is it more stress to watch your teammates play and just sit there with your, hands crossed praying?
I think it depends on where I am in the order. Like if I'm first here and it's like as soon as I get the first win, then it feels like the pressure's off. I did my job. I got my.
You did your job.
I did my job, and I know that my teammates are good and will get the others if I do lose. So if I'm going first once the first game's won, then a lot of the pressure's off, and then I agree that watching becomes more stressful.
All right, Schwartz. Let's last questions that we have for our boy White Rebellion here before we send him off. What you got?
Do you have any? Obviously, you don't have to spill the tech, but do you have any specifically spicy brews saved up for the finals? Any secret sauce that you might be busting out?
Yeah, maybe some Jarvan Morgana Udyr that we didn't see. Yeah, maybe that's the spice in the pack.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some things that we might bring out. We'll see if we feel good enough to that they'll actually line up. But yeah, we'll see. I think that there is a lot of room to do different things in this in the playoff format, but also just in this meta in general. I think it's there's a lot of different things you can do.
Yeah, I guess piggybacking on that question, I guess it didn't cut you off guard a lot when Maokai Saplings did bring this kind of, unorthodox decks with the ramp in Demacia, different kind of version of ramps, Anivia Mordekaiser. Were you guys like prepared for that, or did it just not look scary enough, even though you haven't seen that?
Yeah, I think that they're similar. They are obviously like different variations, but they're still kind of similar to other things that we had seen, right? Like ultimately, it is still a ramp deck, and they are still Mordekaiser decks. So we were definitely thrown off a little bit by it, but a lot of our preparations and plans into those decks still lined up pretty well, I think.
Yeah. All right, I think that's about it. I think we have like one final question for you to answer before we send you off to, get some well-deserved rest and then prepare. On the other side, we have Azir's Ascendant and Draven biggest fan. You did say that it's going to be close, that both teams are stacked, but on one side, we have Falconator. He is the latest and last world's champion. And on the other side, we have players that are really good, like Sleepy Panda, Methodical, Grain Merchant. Who would you rather not face out of those teams in the finals?
Oh, who would we rather not face?
Not face, yeah. Who deserves the most respect, basically?
I mean, I feel like based on the fact that he's the world champion and like swept the last week, I think I have to go with Draven's biggest fan because Talpinator is cracked. So
yeah. Maybe they will say the same thing about you, right? Maybe we don't want to face this Y Rebellion guy. He kind of swept last week, That's going to be the talk of this week. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the gameplay you showed us. Also, thank you for taking the time to come and talk about it with us for a while. I wish you all the luck for next week. And
thank you very much.
Hopefully we don't see you sweep again. We want to see more matches. Now, I'm not going to ask you to throw some games, but
maybe go second.
Let your team
Okay,
either go second or let your teammates play a little more.
Yeah, understood.
All right, so we should be wrapping this up. Schwartz, I'm gonna pick your brain again on all the things that happened today. Now, it's a little bit too much to ask, I know, you're not gonna remember what happened every game, but give us a rundown, in quick summary of how Y Rebellion just demolished everybody today.
I think the biggest thing is, the Fizz combo deck found the pieces it needed to. And honestly, in those longer matchups, like with Lee Sin, Victor, we really saw like just how powerful a piece Victor is. He's a must remove. He continues to grow and cause problems. And Ballistic Bot is just once again a growing threat that burns your opponent down slowly. So I think we just saw exactly like what Y Rebellion said. They had a lineup built to beat, ramp, and that's what they did.
Yeah, it definitely, I would agree with you. I felt like Fizz was fizzing. Ionia ramp ate all the bans today, and Lee Sin Victor definitely listened.
Yep.
I completely agree. That sounds pretty good. Now, the most important question of the day. I think this is why we all came here, Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell do you do with that beard, bro? It's like so consistently grown everywhere.
It's
tips and tricks. Give us the tips and tricks. We all want to hear it.
It's the genetics, man. I shaved yesterday. This is all new. I roll in Miracle Grow every night.
Wait, I thought it's like No Shave November. Like, I'm trying to pull something off, but it's not working. So it's like, I could use the tips, man. Do you just like not shave, or do you like, you're a macho, or you're like, those macho men with like the axe to the woods and stuff like that, and just beards grows like that naturally, right?
That's 100% it. You nailed it. You just got to put those words into practice, and you'll have a beard like this, within minutes. It'll just shoot right.
Yeah. Grows on demand. All right. So, Schwartz, I'm gonna give you any last words, any shout outs you wanna do. Last time I think you shouted out only me. This time I'm not allowed to be on the list.
Okay.
So,
Duly noted.
last words before we send everybody out of here. What do you got?
Hey, big shout out to Sam Sands and the rest of Maokai Saplings. They didn't go the way that they wanted to, but I think that they played well. Sometimes the lineups just don't shake out the way that you want them to. I think that they played very well. And also shout out to Lee Sin's Dragons. Going on to the finals. Great work. Leading into it to have a lineup prep that would work well for them. And look forward to seeing how the finals go next week. Seeing who our first series champion is.
Yeah, definitely some exciting things. Now, to recap whole thing, Fizz hard, Lee Sin hard, Ionia got banned, classic Ionia. That leaves us with Lee Sin's Dragons, also very on point that they did play Lee Sin a lot today. Lee Sin's Dragons into the finals are waiting for the other match of Azir's and Driven's biggest fan. And Azir's Ascendant and Driven's biggest fan, of course, great teams. Like, there's no bad teams at this point. But Lee Sin's Dragons just were flying a little bit under the radar of some people, where, they were underestimated, maybe put not to beat Victor's Evolution last week, maybe not put to beat Maokai Saplings, even by us. Even me and you predicted that Maokai Saplings would win, but they proved us wrong, right? And they're going to be here next week. Hopefully, we're going to be next week. Hopefully, you guys will be next week here. We're going to all witness them play again. Hopefully, not 3 games. We're going to see more. But that's left for next week, right? Gotta leave some suspense for next week. All right, guys. Eyes on the socials. Again, I'm going to point it out. Eyes on the socials to see who we will have in the finals to face Lee Sin's Dragons. And that's pretty much it. Leave some W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Yeah, to show our support. No, to show your support towards us. We don't care about the teams. We just want support from me and Schwartz and our beautiful producer Hirsch in the backside. W's in the chat. W's in the chat, guys. All right, that's it from us. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.